It's time for Shawn and Maya in the morning.
Quick pitch to Walter, looking for the record, cuts back, he's got it, he's out of it at 25 and the 26-yard line. Walter Payton becomes the National Football League all-time leading rusher. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship. Chicago has won the Stanley Cup. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it, go to Rizzo.
It's in time, and the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this House Music Monday edition. Man, let me tell you, I am fired the freak up. I'm fired up for today, man. We have a great show. I started off today with a great workout, a kick-ass workout over at CrossFit Warehouse. So if you're following me on Facebook, make sure you follow me on Facebook, and I'll tell you how to follow me. Well, make sure you follow me on Facebook. I usually do a Facebook Live. Man, today's workout was fucking awesome. Awesome. So I started off my day. And then, you know what? Now we got the show, and there's so much good stuff, man. Hey, listen, if you're watching this on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. Now, if you don't follow us on Facebook and you're watching this on another platform, do me a favor. Go follow Shawn and Maya in the morning. And go follow SportsZone Chicago. Please go follow SportsZone Chicago. Now, if you're watching this on our app, awesome. And if you haven't downloaded the app, shame on you. Make sure you go download the app wherever you get your apps from. Just go download SportsZone Chicago. It's free $99. You don't got to pay nothing yet. Yet is the operative phrase. And if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, awesome. And if you haven't followed us and subscribed to our YouTube channel, tisk. Shame on you again. So go to YouTube and make sure you subscribe to SportsZone Chicago. You can catch this show and all of our live shows throughout the week. Now, if you want to follow me, you can tweet the show. You can also tweet the show at SM_mornings, at SM_mornings, or at SportsZone Shy, the CHI, at SportsZone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me, personally online, want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. Want to know what I did? Here's what I did. I made it nice and easy for you, folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, the Snapper. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. If you want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Akai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at The Sports Chica. If you want to follow her on Instagram because you're an IG and you do it just for the gram, just follow her at Maya_Akai. That's MAYA_AKAI. I would be remiss if I did not introduce this next person. He's the man that makes it run so smoothly for us. He's the man behind the curtain, the Wiz, we call him. But I really like to call my Puerto Rican Swiss Army knife, make sure everything goes nice and smoothly. Ivan Vargas. Ivan, what's up, Papa? How are you?
I'm good, Shawn. Shawn, it was a good weekend of sports. A little rough yesterday for one team in particular. A lot of promise. I'll say that. A lot of promise. And you know what? I was happy to see Zach LaVine smile in the All-Star game after scoring his first points, man. That was. To see him, he's like, man, like it was almost like a settling moment for for the rest of us, like, all right, Zach belongs. Like, it was almost like a coming out party for Zach in a sense. It was good to see him score, and it was good to see him perform well in the All-Star game.
You know what's really weird is he didn't stand out, good or bad, which means he blends in with the All-Stars. You know, good. If he stood out in a good way, then that's even better. But the fact that he didn't stand out like in a bad way, like it was too fast for him, or he didn't get it might have been like deer in headlights. That wasn't him. He was up to speed. He was just another one of the guys. And when you're just another one of the guys with the All-Stars, with the elite in the NBA, now, like I said, I consider Zach a star. I don't consider him a superstar yet. A superstar are the people, the Steph Currys who are hitting 3-pointers from the logo just before half. Him and Logo Lillard. Okay, LeBron James, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kevin Durant. Those are superstars. But Zach is firmly entrenched as a star. hopefully he can get to that next level. But yeah, it was good. It was
Yeah,
good,
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It was like I said, fun weekend. I'm looking forward to today. Good. It looks like a good lineup. Looks like a good set of. Well, you got one good guest, and I know we got the regulars coming on, so I'm looking forward to talking with them too.
Yeah, it's good. It's fun, man. It's fun, but we need you to get interactive. You know what? We want to hear your thoughts, your questions. So wherever you're watching this from, on Facebook Live, on our app, or on our YouTube channel, just leave a question or comment right there. Say good morning, say what's up, and you know what? We're going to incorporate your question or comment into the show. That's what we do. We want, guys, we're nothing without you. We do this for you, so you can get some real sports talk. Okay, no corporate cookie cutter, washed down, condensed version. No. We keep it real. We keep it 100, as my boy Phil Toshin likes to say. We keep it 100 with you right here. And that's what you're going to get. Straight with no chaser is exactly how you get it. Well, look at this. Dub 6R, what's up, Papa? Luis, what's up, Papa? How you doing, buddy? So I heard, real quick story. So I heard you had to go get a a breaded steak sandwich yesterday, huh, Luis? Oh man, that's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Steak sandwich from where?
I think Rico Benny's.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
I believe he drove all the way back down to 26th Street to.
He said, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, he. So my understanding was, that it was crazy. It was crazy, and he had to go to. He said we were talking about it. It piqued his interest, and he's like, you know what? Let's go get a breaded steak. So that's what we did. That's what he did. I'm sorry. That's what he did. So good stuff, man.
Yeah, he said he parked at Saks Park and went and ate it on 26th Street.
Oh, that's awesome. Great stuff. Marshawn, what's up, Papa? How are you? Good stuff, baby. Good stuff. Well, listen, we had a slight thing. We got to can you do me a favor? Can you send Joseph that the link? Apparently he didn't get it.
Yeah, I got it right now.
Okay, send it to him. But yeah, so great stuff, man. We got people telling me we got Luis. Broke the scale this morning. That's funny. So we got Luis. Hold on. Yeah, so we're sending it right now, Papa. I've been sending it right now. See, sometimes he's like, all right, thanks.
Yeah, I don't have his email.
I thought you had it.
I had it too. I wasn't looking it up.
All right, I got it. Oh, you sent it. You sent it this morning, didn't you? So it's this morning. Oh, that's right, because I didn't get it from you this morning. That's why. Aha.
Oh.
That's a good reason why.
How'd you get on?
Don't worry about it. See, you asked me the questions, man. So you need to send me that real quick. I'll send you his contact information so you can send it to him. Yeah, I'll send that to you. Sorry. Here we go. We're going to share this with Ivan. Sorry about this, guys. We apologize. We do have a great show. Listen, we got a great show. When I say we got a great show, I am not bull jiving. I'm not bull jiving at 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, John Dietz from the Daily Herald, he calls in. We're going to talk a little Blackhawks hockey. That was a rough one. Yesterday. So he's going to talk about that. It was a good game. It was a really nice little mini series with the Tampa Bay Lightning, the defending Stanley Cup champions. So it was a good litmus test for the Blackhawks. And then at 11 o'clock, it's kind of like a reunion. Because you know what? Lance Irvin from the Mac Irvin Fire family, his dad, Mac Irvin, God rest his soul, started one of the most powerful AAU teams in the country. He's coming out at 11, and that's when Jason comes on, and they are the co-hosts of What's Up Cuz, their show on Monday night. And we're going to talk a little All-Star game. Man. There was so many cool moments that man, I don't even know what's, it was, whether it's Steph and Logo Lillard hitting threes from half, just from the from the logo just before halftime, or the dunks or the defense, man, or the 60 points put up in the second quarter by Team LeBron. It was a fun All-Star game. So we're going to talk to Lance Irvin at 11 o'clock. And then you know how we do, the usual suspects, usual cast of characters. Joseph Phillips is going to be on in a moment. He's going to sit with us for the top of the morning segment. And then Kenneth Davis joins us at 10 o'clock. And then Jason Palmer at 11. So that's how we do. So in case you're wondering, and if you don't know, now you know, Nugget. Oh, man. So, oh, goodness. We're waiting for.
Yeah, so wait.
No, you might have to. I don't know. You might have to take one of them screens down, bro, so we can log on.
Really?
Or do we have 10 people? A max of 10?
There's no 10 people.
I know. I'm asking if that's the max.
Oh, I think 10 is the max. Yeah.
Oh, okay. If that's the max, then he should be able to hop on any second. Okay. For some reason I thought it was 6. Because if it's 6, then we're screwed. So I would suggest you just take one off and then just to make sure he can get on. There we go. Good. But what did you do this weekend, bro? What did you do this weekend?
Nothing much. Just like I said, watching sports, trying to prepare some stuff. I got a couple ideas. Like I said, I hit you up yesterday with to give me some information so I could go ahead and start getting some things ready for the show. So that's pretty much what I've been focusing on, is trying to build Shawn and Maya in the morning.
Informacji. Always want informacji. Well, guys, you know how we do. You know what time it is. The first segment of every show is called Top of the Mornings.
Just when you want it. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
Our Top of the Morning segment is powered by the Chicago Crusader newspaper. And with that, we bring in their guy, we bring in our guy, we bring in your guy, QAnon himself, our man, the main man. He is a sports editor over there, and the guy you can find on Twitter at ACA Joe. Let's bring him on, our boy, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Joseph Phillips. Joseph, what's up, Papa?
What's up, Papa? God bless.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. Doing great this morning after watching that horrible All-Star game. LeBron stacking his team again.
Eddie.
Here we go, baby.
Hey, Joseph, you do know he had a pool to pick from, and that Kevin Durant could have picked those same players, right? You do know that, right?
Yeah, I know, but here's the key word. Kevin Durant wasn't playing, okay? So therefore, if Kevin Durant wasn't playing, why are you stacking your team? You're that afraid of Kevin Durant, you still stack your team worrying about if Kevin Durant would play. Because if Kevin Durant would have played, that score would have been a different story.
Just because Kevin Durant didn't play, he still chose his team. It's not like it's not like LeBron. It's not like Kevin had a different pool of players to choose from.
Well, LeBron wasn't choosing for competition. He was choosing for a blowout. How you gonna have Steph Curry? How you gonna have Damian Lillard? How you gonna have all these guys on your squad? The MVP, Giannis. Come on now. Then you only played like 7 minutes in the game while you're GMing on the sideline, clapping, flopping all over the scores table. Are you kidding me? But that's another story within itself. Let me just leave that.
I know. My goodness. The hate never stops, dude.
No hate never stops. Just the truth, man.
The truth is they both had the same pool to choose from. And so whoever Kevin Durant picked, and who he didn't pick, that's on him. So he could have picked Steph. Steph didn't go first. Giannis went first.
This is the truth.
Didn't go first.
His LeBron James worshipers keep making him. First of all, they keep voting him in as the top vote getter. That's the problem right there. There's too many believers out there, LeBron believers. That's how he continues to be the captain of these teams. Because I'm just like, well, what happened to the guys that really did the work? Like Anthony Davis, the guy who really carried the Lakers last year. Okay, no, I'm just saying, like he should have been the captain. Now, I'm tired of seeing LeBron James as the captain. He's the one who was responsible for changing that format to that crap because he knows it's about the popularity contest. But like I said, that's another show within itself. I don't want to get into that because I want to start my morning off on a good note. But anyway, how was your week?
My weekend was good, man. My weekend a lot better than yours, Mr. LeBron. It was good, man. I enjoyed the 50+ degree weekend. It was good. Had a few drinks, not too much, not too crazy, but it was good. It was good. So I'm pretty excited, pretty happy with the weekend. I was pretty happy. So nothing crazy.
All right.
Well, let's get right to it. Guys, you know how we do the first segment of every show. As I said, it's called Top of the Morning Team. These are the hot topics of the night before, just for sports in general. And boy, oh boy, do we have some doozies. The first top of the morning topic. This one's a rough one. The Blackhawks blow a 3-goal lead and fall to the defending Stanley Cup champions, Tampa Bay Lightning, 6-3. One of the things that was really, really, really frustrating. They in the first period, Blackhawks got on the board early, bam, with a 1-0 lead, and I was like, okay, cool. Don't get me too crazy, but I'm okay. And then all of a sudden, they scored again. Late in the power play. But they were on the power play, I believe, and they scored, and it made it 2-0. And man, to tell you, I was like, okay, good. Then the start of the second, they put it in and it had 3-0 lead. And I was like, you know what? It's a nice 2-0 lead after one. They made it 3. I was like, but be ready. I posted on Facebook. These are the defending Stanley Cup champions. They will make a run. And man, sure enough, they did. The Tampa Bay Lightning had 4 goals, 3 on power plays in the second period to go up 4-3. Joseph, your thoughts?
Well, this is called experience versus inexperience. And this is why it's important for young coaches to not encourage false sense of security, because for 2 periods, we had them on the ropes. We had them, and we let them off the hook. No, I'm just playing. But at the end of the day, this just speaks to the Blackhawks' young, inexperienced mentality. Like, you're up 3-0. I don't know if they decided to take their foot off the gas.
No, Joe, don't even do that. Do that. Hey, this is the defending Stanley Cup champions, dude. What did they do? They did not take their foot off the pedal. Don't start that nonsense. That is straight BS. This team is a phenomenal team. If you watch the way that the Tampa Bay Lightning were back checking, if you watched that they were in the passing lanes, they look like the Hawks from 2010. That's how good they're the defending Stanley Cup champions, dude. Don't say that the Hawks took their foot off the pedal. It's just all of a sudden that Tampa Bay turned it up. Tampa Bay is a phenomenal team. So don't diss the Hawks by saying that they took their foot off the pedal. No. Tampa Bay is just a better team, and they showed it yesterday.
No, I'm saying the Hawks took their foot off the pedal.
That's what I said. Don't say the Hawks took their foot off the pedal. Tampa Bay is you don't win a Stanley Cup for nothing.
Well, here's my logic. Here's my logic behind that. Okay, I watched the game. Well, Saturday game. What was that? Friday's game. The Blackhawks won and nobody celebrated because it was just like, whoa, they beat them. They won in the shootout. So my thing was that we proved that we can beat them. Now, can we take their best shot? Okay. Now that's what Sunday game was about. Can we take their best shot? And after yesterday's game, what I'm saying is that the Blackhawks don't have another chance tonight to play them again. So what I'm saying is that I think, this is what I believe, I think we took our foot off the pedal because even though they are Stanley Cup champs, but it's just like the Lakers, it's a Mickey Mouse championship. It was in a short season. And a lot of teams didn't get a chance to come at them like most teams could have. What I'm saying is that I don't think the Blackhawks fear them. I just think that there's just another level of adjustments that they're going to have to make. And like you said, with Seabrook retiring on Friday, now we can evaluate our roster. We can see, okay, what strength do they have over us that keep us dropping these type of games? Let's go out there and address those holes. Now, we may have guys that are second string guys playing in those positions that's going at their first string guys. Now, if we go out and use that $28 million, we can actually start competing with a Tampa Bay consistently, because I think they fall hard. I really do.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I felt that they kind of took their foot off the gas. And nothing against Tampa Bay, but that just speaks to the Hawks' growth. You know, that they're actually a good team. They're not a bad team. And I think we're underestimating the Blackhawks right now. We're undervaluing them.
I'll say I agree with both of you. I really do, because I think the Hawks they didn't realize, or at least the young guys didn't realize what they were going, the onslaught that was going to come after they went up 3-0. They clearly were the more inexperienced team. You know what I'm saying? They clearly were inexperienced. They clearly looked shell shocked once you saw that. Like the Lightning turned it up 1,000. And it looked like the Hawks were in slow motion.
It struck like lightning.
It looked like they were in slow motion at a certain point. But I don't want to take away from what the Lightning did. Like Shawn said, those guys they put up 6 goals in a blink of an eye. In a blink of an eye, it was 3-3, and then all of a sudden it was 4-3. You know what I mean? It was very quick, very methodical, and that's why they're the Stanley Cup champs. But I will agree with to a point with you, both of you, on that. The one thing I'll agree totally with you, Joseph, is they need another guy. They need somebody else. Maybe one more defenseman. Maybe they just need somebody else to get them over the hump. Maybe it's Jonathan Taves. Maybe it's Doc and Jonathan Taves.
That's what I said.
They need one more piece, one more piece.
Right.
I don't agree with you, dude. I don't agree with your assessment at all, both of you, about them taking their foot off the pedal. This is just a better team. The Hawks are in a stage where they're in the beginning stages of their rebuild. They're starting to learn. The youngsters are playing well. But they're not seasoned. They're not Patrick Kane. They're not Duncan Keith. They're not Jonathan Taves. They're not these guys. They don't have that moxie. They don't have the experience. Last year's playoff experience helped some of the young guys. We have a lot of rookies on this team as well. So it's just their inexperience. Tampa Bay took advantage of their experience. Tampa Bay was all over the freaking place yesterday, dude. Tampa Bay was, dude, on the penalty kill was ridiculous for the Tampa Bay Lightning. It didn't seem like the Hawks had a man advantage for the majority of the 2 minutes every time they were on the power play, because they were just so quick. You talk about getting in the passing lanes, being a little more aggressive than some teams. Tampa Bay's a good team. Don't sleep on you. Put some respect on their name.
No. I'm not trying to disrespect Tampa Bay, but
sounds like it.
I want to give credit to my guys. I'm not about to bow down to them. Okay,
bow down, but this calls spade a spade. Right now, they're better than us. They're better than us. But you know what? We fought. We lost the first game with 0.1 seconds because we played them 3 times. It was like a mini series. So we played them 3 times in 4 days. So we lost the first game with 0.1 second left in overtime. That sucked. Okay, but that showed that they can play with them. Then the next night we won.
Right.
Okay, in a shootout.
I think our young guys don't get any calls either. You know, like I watched that game. What was that? I think it was either Thursday or Friday, and there were some questionable calls that was sending us into the penalty box, and I didn't like that. You know, like there was.
That's part of being a young team.
Exactly. That's what I said. Like, so it's not necessarily them losing because they not putting in the work. Sometimes referees just give experienced players calls.
No, stop it.
I saw somebody get tripped. And
that never happened with us. And Michael Jordan.
I saw one of the Tampa Bay players trip the Blackhawk player, and both of them went into the penalty box. And I'm just like, wait, what's going on here? You know, like how's the player that got tripped going into the penalty box, and along with the Tampa Bay guy? So it was something wrong with that. They was in a 4-on-4 at one point. So I was just like, wait, maybe I'm seeing things on the TV. What I'm saying is that
you gotta check your glasses, check your prescription.
Championship teams are going to get favorable calls, and that can swing the momentum. That's going to swing the momentum of the game. And I know what you mean, Shawn. You know, like, yeah, they're an elite team, but we're not afraid of them.
No, no one ever said that.
We're not afraid of them.
Dude, no one ever said that, Joseph.
The next time we see them, okay,
Tampa Bay knows they got a fight on their hand.
Well, yeah, they're going to have a fight on their hand. That's all I'm saying.
We lost the first 2 times. We played them twice this year. Before this little 3-game series, we lost 5-1 and 5-2. They beat our ass. Okay,
Mhm.
they beat our ass hands down. Okay, now the 3-game series, it shows them, oh snap, these mugs are for real.
Exactly.
They got young, and Joe, I never, ever said that we were scared of them and that we bowed down to them. I just said they're a better team. They fought in game 1, they fought in game 2, and in game 3 they fought, and all of a sudden Tampa Bay just turned it on. When you're an elite team, how many times did the Blackhawks do that to certain teams back from 2010 to 2015 and 16 and 17? When they wanted to, they turned it on, and dude, they were holy shit. They were, oh man, we're talking 4 or 5 goals in a period. You're like, whoa, what the hell happened? This is exactly this is the firepower. This is the firepower that the Tampa Bay Lightning have. They have that firepower.
This is where you got to get an enforcer on the team. Okay, you got to get an enforcer on the team to be like, no, that's not gonna happen. Boom, that's not gonna happen. Okay?
No, you can't, Joseph.
They were laying wood.
You can't. Dude, Connor Murphy's gonna get suspended. Connor Murphy had a match, a 5-minute major for checking a dude. Dude, he knocked the dude's lights out, and that's good hockey. But you know, the new hockey nowadays, little pussyfooters, like, oh, he's hitting the head. Well, you know exactly. Well, I'm sorry, Joseph. That's the way the game is. You can't sit there and say, well, it's a saw. Well, that's the way it is. You got to play that way. You have
and
to
that's
play
what the Blackhawks have to adjust to. They gotta go from, because they already a finesse team, because they were being labeled soft last year. They're learning how to be a physical team along with being finesse. And I think the more they up their level when it comes to playing that type of game, they're gonna be an unstoppable force to come in the near future. I'm saying we're not that far apart. I'm not going to give Tampa Bay that type of credit and make it look like they dominated us. Most of that was on mental mistakes also.
No one said they dominated us. No one said they dominated us, dude.
Just like I
no
tell
one
people,
said they did. So why are you saying that?
If I lose on a basketball court, I always tell people it's not because of what you did. It's because of what I didn't do. Okay?
Sometimes
you beat me because of what I didn't do.
What the Hawks didn't do was stay disciplined enough to not commit the penalties that they had.
Exactly.
And give them the power play chances that they did give them. There was ample amount of opportunities for the Lightning to win to come back after they went up 3-0, and it was all due to the Hawks' mistakes.
So it's based on what we did, not what they did. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
But sometimes you force other teams into making mistakes when you're that good. Joe, we saw it. We saw it when the shoe was on the other foot. So let's keep it real. When the shoe was on the other foot and the Hawks were making other people make mistakes, okay, because of their play, because of their quickness, because of their aggression, their aggressiveness, then just call it the same. It's just right now the shoe's on the other foot. We're not the better team, and that's it. We're a good team, but we're not at that level yet of Tampa Bay. We'll get there. We're getting there a lot faster than I believe any Blackhawk fan, and maybe even the organization thought that they would get there, but we're getting there. We're just not there yet. And the fact that they took them to 0.1 second in overtime, game 1, the fact that they beat them in a shootout in game 2, and the fact that they had a quick 3-goal lead and in game 3 shows that this team is capable. Now they just have to close. And that's there's no way you can do it unless you're in those situations, and they're not in those. So as the season goes on, they're going to be in more situations. This is like the Bulls. Remember how we talked about the Bulls not being able to close, and now all of a sudden you saw the Bulls toward the end, right before the All-Star break, they're able to close those close games. Right. Now the Blackhawks are on that same trajectory. The Blackhawks need to learn how to close, and it can't just be Patrick Kane and Duncan Keith. Right. It's got to be these young guys, because if these young guys learn how to close. Yes, we're gonna go deep into the playoffs next year.
That's right. And can I ask you, Shawn? Can I ask you, Ivan, this question?
What's up?
Who can we add to this lineup that's out there, or via trade, that can help this team take that jump? Is this going to happen this year, this season, or is it going to happen next year, next season?
I don't know if there's anyone we need to go out and get. We got to get Kirby Dach back. All right, Kirby Dach had some huge strides. The playoff experience with him last year was invaluable. So I know he's going to get better. So when he comes back off the broken wrist, I believe it is, he's going to come back. He's going to be that second line center. And then the captain. Those are 2 studs. You have a perennial all-star in Jonathan Toews, the captain, and then you have a budding star in Kirby Dach. You add those 2 guys. This is a whole different team. So I don't know if we necessarily need to go out and get somebody. Okay, I just think we need to get healthy, and I'll tell you what, I'm okay with Connor. With Connor's hit, I'm okay. I'm okay with it. He just went high. You know what? Next thing you do, hit him in the ribs. Break his freaking ribs. Just break them. Okay? I mean, you want to play hockey, you want to enforce, and Connor Murphy's that dude. Just keep that shoulder right in his sternum or right in his rib cage, and so you're not hitting his head. And that's all. You have to learn how to do that, especially when you have that no-look shot like he had in football. Defensive back safeties in particular had to learn how to go at where to hit and where to aim. Hockey players are going to have to do the same. It's just going to be a lot more difficult because they're moving much faster than football players. So, hey, Connor Murphy, I got nothing wrong with that hit, Papa. Nothing wrong with that hit.
No,
just keep it a little lower and drive right through his God blessed rib cage. Break his freaking rib, and you know what? Then you get your ass off the ice. And then because then that'll be the enforcer that people are talking about. That'll be like, oh, watch out for Connor Murphy. When you're coming around and you're fighting behind that net, you better all of a sudden keep your head up, because Connor Murphy may be coming around with a shoulder to your ribs, and there's nothing like playing with cracked or broken ribs. Because I've done it and I know.
I agree. Like I asked John Dietz, and we're gonna have him on a little later. I asked him last time he was on with us after this little surprising run with the Hawks started. I was like, what do they do? Do they make a move at the deadline? And I'm gonna pretty much defer to what he said. I think they're young enough to where they don't need to move. They do have Taze and Doc that could come back, but I think they're gonna go with this youth movement and see how they go and build with them. As opposed to trying to go reach out and get rid of that talent like they did prior to in 2010 and after they won a couple of cups. But I think they keep their young players. I think they move forward with the youth, and I think they try their luck in the playoffs, and then maybe they make a move next year when they really make a run, when they're completely healthy, when they have their captain, their number one draft pick in Kirby Doc, their second line center, and a reloaded Blackhawks team. I think they really take their shot next year.
You want to keep it under the cap. You get see, and here's the one thing that we got to talk about, and people want to dismiss it, but you can't. The cap in all sports, hockey has a cap, and you're not going to go and get a huge free agent, okay? Because most likely, not definitely, but most likely he's going to have a contract that's going to go a couple of years. Right? Do you want a guy who comes for 1 year and then you can lose him? Yeah, I don't know. So you have all these rookie guys on their on rookie deals. You're under the cap. And the cap has gone down because of the absence of fans last year. So you want to be able to maintain these youngsters, maximize their potential. Okay, right. It's just like the NFL. You want to win with a quarterback on his rookie deal. In that first 5 years of his deal of the rookie of your quarterback is when you want to win, because then you're going to have to give him the big money. Okay. Right. And then that's when everything falls apart. And with all these youngsters, first and second year players, we got about a 3 or 4 year window where we need to really make a strong run at that Stanley Cup. And the way Kevin Lankin is playing between the pipes, that son of a gun is a godsend. Let me tell you. Sorry. And our boy Javier De Leon said, any word on Taze's ETA? No. We'll ask John Dietz. I believe last time he said that he just said it in passing that Taze might not come back until next season. That's what he said. He might. He didn't say would, might. So it
sounds like the Bulls. It sounds like the Hawks and the Bulls are in a similar situation.
They are. They kind
of like they don't want to get rid of their core guys because they want to develop them. And I think the key word here, it's about player development, just like with the Bulls. Mm-hmm. And if that's the case, if it's player development, then I don't think they're trying to win now. I don't think they're trying to win at all this season.
I disagree with you. I disagree. I think the Blackhawks have they have enough. I don't think to win this year.
Right.
But I think next year they have, with the added playoff experience that these youngsters are going to get. So the rookies that didn't have it last year are going to get it. And the sophomores who got it last year are going to be even better. They're going to benefit from it even more. So I think they're trying to win. I think they realize that they can't win it this year.
Right.
They can't win it. Okay. Right. That doesn't mean that you can't go and fight and gain all the experience, the playoff experience that you can get. You know what? You have a puncher's chance, and we have a lot of potent scorers on this team. We have a Connor Murphy. We have some guys who can play physical. They just have to do it a little better and not draw penalties. Stay away from the shoulder and the head. I'm talking ribs, shoulders to ribs, shoulders to ribs, shoulders to ribs. that will because if you break someone's rib, guess what? They're out the next game.
Right.
Guarantee you.
Right.
And if it's a stud player,
right.
And he comes in the game, then you make sure you target him. And because if you're an injury, if you're playing with an injury, you're fair game. All's fair in love and war. You know what I mean?
Reason why I said that, Shawn, is because if they do stay consistent throughout the season, will the Blackhawks make a move to help better the team? And
I don't think they need to.
Yeah. What I'm saying is that if they say, for example, if they one player away, like if Jonathan Taylor is going to play this season, will they make a move to solidify that position? And I don't think they're gonna do that. They're just gonna let them play. They're gonna play with the roster that they have, which is probably a concern because you don't want to get into the playoffs and you just do a try hard effort. The goal is to get into the playoffs and win the whole thing. And I don't think they're gonna make a move to help us get to that next level, like you said, until next year. So what I'm saying is that we're playing all of this hard hockey this season because this team right now is overachieving. And I don't think it's fair to this team not to make a move because one of our top players is out. We're going to need to add one more guy in there to at least take his place. You see what I mean? Until he gets back.
You don't, Joseph. Let's pick this up on the other side of the break. Let's take a quick break, and on the other side, we're going to keep it up, keep more top of the morning topics. But don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago.
Hey, this is Gary Payton, and we listen to Shawn and Maya in the morning. Do that.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash
on 1330 and 95.9 The Zone.
13 points for Zach LaVine in the losing effort as Team LeBron beat Team LeBrant 170-150 at the NBA All-Star Game. Tough loss for the Blackhawks on Sunday following 6-3 at home against the Lightning. Chicago led it 2-0 after the first, but coughed up 4 goals in the middle period, 2 more in the third. Yannick Gord with 2 goals and 2 helpers for Tampa. Matthias Janmark with a goal and an assist for Chicago in the loss. They dropped to 13-8-5 with the setback. Points in 7 of 10. 6-game road trip begins tomorrow night. They'll also play Thursday at Dallas before heading to Florida for a pair against the Panthers and then 2 more against the Lightning. Major League Baseball spring training on Sunday. The Rockies with a 1-0 shutout over the White Sox. The Diamondbacks nipped the Cubs 5-4.
Chuck Sanders, that's the Sports Flash, 1330 95.9 The Zone.
What's in store for your business this week at Staples?
Printing you new signs for the times.
Get back to business with custom printed signs and sales materials. Staples has hundreds of designs to choose from, or just upload your own.
And now at Staples, get 15% off signs, posters, or decals when you spend $75 or more.
Some items printed same day when ordered before 2 p.m.
Save big on custom printing at Staples.
Ends 5/29/21. Exclusions apply. Limit 1 offer per customer. See store associate or visit staples.com/signage for details.
Receive a $5 rebate by trading up a non-contact thermometer toward an Exergen temporal scanner purchased at any retailer. Fever is a leading symptom of COVID, and using an accurate thermometer has never been more critical. In published studies, no-touch thermometers miss more fevers than they detect. While the new COVID vaccines are becoming more widely available, it is important to make sure you are protected. Monitor for fever with an accurate thermometer backed by more than 80 published peer-reviewed clinical studies. Details at Exergen.com, where accuracy matters.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning at SportsZone Chicago. Damn, dude, you can't just put that thing so damn quick, bro. Let me finish.
You know how long the commercials are, bro. Like I saw you.
I don't have a stopwatch, dude. I'm eating, and you just. So you know how to extend it. How to extend it if you see me.
I was sitting there. I'm like, oh crap! Like, how's it gonna get? Like, come on, you were eating.
You damn right. I got out of CrossFit. I'm hungry, bro. I'm hungry. I gotta eat on my breaks. I gotta eat quick on the breaks, man. I got my apple. I got apples and bananas with my peanut butter. Apple, bananas, and peanut butter, baby. That's it. Hey, summer's right around the corner, baby. Summer's right around the corner.
So it's gonna be 60 degrees today. Shawn ready, bro.
Hey, so listen, we were right before the break. We got to finish this up so we can move on to the next one. We talked about the Hawks, and don't forget, guys, at the top of the hour, John Dietz is going to join us. We're going to continue a conversation with him. But it's not unfair. Listen, you don't know. We don't need to make a move yet. You're going to make a move next year at the deadline. That's when you make the move next year, because you don't know how these guys, these youngsters, think of last year's rookies,
right,
and how much better they're playing this year.
Right.
Think of this year's rookies. When we go to the playoffs, how much better are they? Because they're going to get playoff hockey. They just had playoff hockey this last week.
Right.
That was a 3-game set, and it's the same team. Boom, boom, boom. Best out of 7. So adjustments need to be made every day. And this young group, if they can have a jump similar to last year's rookies,
right,
going into next year, well, guess what? Now everybody's is playoff tested.
Right.
So you might not need a guy. Excuse me. You might not need a guy until the deadline, and at that point, then you see what you got. You don't need to, because if you're not going to win the Stanley Cup, which they're not this year, okay, but it doesn't.
We don't know. We don't know yet. We don't know.
We don't know. But the chances are unlikely, especially if the captain doesn't come back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Shawn, only thing I'm saying is this: what happened if we peak too fast this year? Remember how with the Cubs, right, in 2015. People was like, oh, 2020 is going to be the year when the Cubs win. Like, no. The young guys is like, no, we ready to grow up right now. Like, we're not waiting for Jonathan Taves, and we're not waiting for this guy. We're getting a thirst for winning right now. And I think that if this team peaks early, like peak early before next year, and they get far in the playoffs and they go far, what I'm saying is that it wouldn't be smart of management to just stand there and just let this season go to waste if they make a deep run. You see what I mean? What I'm saying is that you don't want to get into the Stanley Cup playoffs and be one player short. The Sox went through that with Kopech. The Bears went through that with Eddie Goldman. It's the same stuff. What I'm saying is that you want to find a replacement to at least fill in the gap to do the little things that Jonathan Taves do. At least. And I'm not saying right now, it could be before the playoffs start. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. We're going to agree to disagree on certain things, and that's cool. You're entitled to your wrong opinion, and that's fine because you're a Cub fan, so that's cool.
I still love you, though.
I love you, too. I got never. Oh, see? There you go with that nonsense, Ivan. There you go with that nonsense. Guys, the next top of the morning top, we're going to move on. You're going to get Joseph fired up again. Team LeBron beats Team Durant 170-150 yesterday in the All-Star game. And I'll tell you what, it was fun. It was good to see. You know what? It's when you see guys, the effort that they played with the last 2 years has been effort that I haven't seen in an All-Star game. Because it's just, I know they're not playing defense, but if it was a little closer, because Team LeBron, they won in the second quarter when they put up 60. Dude, how the hell you put up 60 points in a quarter?
The threes, man. You got the 3-point champion on your squad. You got
Dame Lillard.
Fresh off trophies, bro.
Dude, Giannis Antetokounmpo was named the MVP, the All-Star game MVP, going 16 for 16 from the field. You saw that crazy, awkward bank off the board. He called it. 3-point shot. Dude, that was insane. You know what? And the thing here's the thing that was awesome. They're playing for HBCUs and the schools that they had, and what I really like it. The quarter, you got to win the quarter. So if you win quarter number 1, then it goes to the winners team. And whoever wins the second quarter, it goes to their team. Team LeBron won all 4, so all the money went to his. I'm sure they give some money to the other schools, but I just thought that was cool when they're really focusing on giving money and supporting HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities. I just thought that was really, 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 really cool.
Yeah, I commend all the players who pretty much put the time in to give money to charity, to the Thurgood Marshall College Scholarship Fund, in addition to the United Negro Scholarship Fund. I think Team LeBron raised $750,000, and then Team Durant, I think they finished out with $500,000. I think it was combined $1.25 million. Yeah, just all together. So I wrote a piece on that, just talk about that. But at the end of the day, like I said, you got guys like Steph Curry,
like that,
shoot threes of the All-Star symbol, catching alley hoops. Come on, man.
And hanging on the rim, dude, I love it.
Hanging on the rim, no contest, you know.
But here's the thing that more importantly for me, and we talked about it before. Look at Logo Lillard, that was ridiculous. Literally a step and a half across half court. Zach LaVine didn't stand out, good or bad.
Right.
And so when you're with the elite, look at Steph right across half court, splash. This guy's Curtis and Dame, and Dame was like, your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn. I think that was awesome. But the most important part of this that I took out of it was the way Zach LaVine blended in, and you couldn't tell if he didn't stand out as one of the better ones.
Right.
He definitely didn't stand out as one of the worst ones. Right. So he's playing with a plethora of superstars, and when he's comfortable playing, as comfortable as he looked playing with superstars, that gives me a lot of encouragement for him in his game, because this was for his first All-Star game. His first points was a 3-pointer. And I'll tell you what, I really, really enjoyed seeing Zach LaVine play with those guys, because now you can see he can play at that level.
Right.
And the thing for Zach LaVine is like, okay, this is the level I have to play at. Because when you're playing against Dame, you're playing against LeBron, you're playing against Steph Curry, you're playing against Giannis, that's a different level than playing against everyone else in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? And when he's around, just being around those guys, and talking to them and seeing them and seeing that mentality. There's a different thing when you're with an all-star team, when you make your first all-star game, and you think you're good until you sit there. And I know he's like, I think I'm the best player on the court. But then you sit there, you see Steph, you see Logo Lillard, you see Giannis, you see all these studs. You're like, damn, okay, I got to step my game up.
Like I got work to do.
Yes, exactly, Joseph, exactly. And now he can bring that shit back to the team. Like, no. We were here. We got to bring it up here. Everybody's got to bring it up here. And I think that was so vital for this Bulls team, so vital for Zach, and so vital for this Bulls team, because now they have a leader. Now he's like, I played with the best.
Right.
I played with the best. This is how they do it.
Right.
This is how they do it. This is how they prepare. This is how they go about their daily business.
This is how confident they are. Like you taking shots from half court after rolling on the ground.
Yeah. Man. And that's the thing, is like, you know what? You wanna hope that he absorbed a lot of that knowledge and just absorb that whole atmosphere, because it's powerful. Hey, Holy Samurai Jerusalem, how you doing, Papa? Good morning.
What's up, buddy?
Good morning. Well, listen, next topic, we got to keep it moving. Next top of the morning topic, Loyola. Yes, baby. They're going to the dance again. Loyola wins the Missouri Valley Conference championship yesterday, punching their ticket to the big dance. I'll tell you what, man, that is awesome. That is so freaking awesome. This team is 75-65 over Drake. Okay. Cameron Krutwig. Remember Cameron Krutwig? Cameron was a rookie, a freshman on that 18 squad. And now he's a grown-ass man, dude. That dude is a grown-ass man.
Yes, I got to give it to him, man. I mean, his low post moves are some of the best in college basketball. I mean, he finishing with his right hand, finishes with his left hand. I mean, he's a very high percentage basket scorer, in the paint. So I got to give it to the big man, Cameron. He's holding it down from that Loyola team that went all the way to the Final Four, the national championship. So,
Final Four, and they lost to Michigan.
Yep. So, hey, keep up the good work. You representing the city shine. I know yesterday somebody was talking about Rogers Park. It's not in Chicago. Roger Park
is in Chicago.
It is in Chicago. Okay, so let's get that straight. And it's a lot of brothers out there too. So let's get that straight. As I see them in the gas stations, trust me. Okay, by the train. But anyway, if you're a Chicagoan, you know that. But shout out to Loyola. We used to play there on my old school, Robert Morris, in the brown box that rocks. So that should be our home floor. Loyola, what's that? Gentile Arena.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Gentile Center. But we used to play at the old arena, the brown box that rocks back in the day. And that place used to get loud. So shout out to Rudy Moser and the Loyola Ramblers.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know what? They punched their ticket twice in 3 years. I think that's awesome, man. I think it's good for the city. It really, really is. And here's the only crazy part is now you're going to see all the – I didn't know there were many people who went to Loyola in the city. Man, back in 18, those jokers came out. I was like, what? I didn't know you went to Loyola. You never said –
They've been had.
I thought Loyola was a bunch of like suburban kids coming into the city. You know what I'm saying? Like coming into the city and just play just to play in the city and stuff. I never knew it was a bunch of like, you know, Chicago public school kids, you know, coming together and playing this. I thought it would be more like a DePaul getting those kids. You know what I mean? Like a Chicago City, something like that. I never thought Loyola would be the team.
Yeah, so it was good. Cameron Krutwig and Braden Norris each scored 20. Keith Clemens added 13 for Loyola, and they won 6 in a row, and they've won 17 over their last 18. And I'll tell you what, watch this. This is a good team. Wow. This is a good team. This is how you go into the tournament. This is how you go into a tournament. 17 of your last 18 games you've won.
Wow.
You're hot. You're hot, and you're gonna start seeing some things. And the part about this, and be careful. And I've said this so many times. You have guards, okay? Braden Norris, Keith Clemens. These guys, these are juniors and seniors. These are guys who've been there 3 and 4 years. And when you get good guard play, you can go very far in the tournament. You are much better equipped to handle a team with one and dones. With a whole bunch of blue chippers and on a team, because usually they're not playing team ball. It takes a while. Yeah. And as a third or fourth year player, all right, you have a feel. All these guys or the seniors now, they were all in the tournament, 3 years ago. They were freshmen, but they were in a tournament and they felt that. They understood that. Then they went through some hard times and now they're back. Trust me, those hard times fortified them for this run right now.
And don't forget about Whitney Young's finest, Lucas Williams. Like I covered him in high school. I know he maybe he is not the standout player that he was at Whitney Young, but he's contributed in some aspects since he was a freshman attending Loyola. So shout out to him too.
Yeah. So because they're a heavy upper class team, watch out for Loyola. They can make a deep run, and if they do, I'd love it. I would love it.
Yes.
Next top of the morning topic: the Fighting Illini get the number 2 seed in the Big Ten tournament, despite the fact beating Michigan.
That's cheating.
You know what? Here's the deal.
Yeah.
Here's the deal, and I know Illini fans. See, I didn't go to Illinois, so it's easy for me to say this from the outside looking in. Okay, I know you're pissed. Okay, you're 16-4. Michigan's 14-3. All right, you beat Michigan. All right, they get the number 1 seed. They're the regular season champions, and everyone's talking about it. They're talking about, oh, we should have been number 1. We should have been this. Okay, you're not number 1. Deal with it. Okay, you know how you be number 1. You take care of business down in Indianapolis this week. That's how you show we're number 1. Okay, the regular season record standings are cool. That's fine. But when you win in a tournament, there's no question, because now there's questions. Well, Illinois beat them, but Michigan had this, and then Michigan's higher ranked. And okay, there's questions. When you're in a tournament and it's head to head, there's no questions. Right. So you know what, Illinois, you go handle your business. Use that slight as motivation. As motivation going into this tournament this week, because you're gonna face Michigan again. Okay. And you know what? You need to put an ass whooping on it and say, hey, you know what? You thought last time was bad? Hold my beer. Okay. You need to be fired up for that game. You need to be fired up getting to that game. And when you get to that game, you know who I need Illinois I need them to be like Clubber Lang. Remember Clubber Lang in Rocky 3? And some of you guys, I'm dating myself. Okay, I'm dating myself, but you remember Clubber Lang in Rocky 3.
Yeah,
all of us. And when he wanted Stallone, so he wanted Rocky so bad. He was destroying people. He'd knock people out of the ring. He'd punch them as they're falling through the ropes. Because that mentality that he had is that there's nothing that's going to stop me from getting to what I want. And right now, Illinois has to have that same mentality. Ayo Dunsumo, he's got to say, hey, look, I look like the masked man. I look like Zorro, but you know what? I'm going to slice your ass up like Zorro as well. They all got to come with an attitude, and they have to play phenomenal ball till they get to Michigan, and Michigan they have to play even better because they need to make a statement of Michigan like you did not deserve the regular season title. Okay, and we just proved it right now. We beat your ass in the regular season, and we beat your ass in the Big Ten tournament. Now you got nothing to say. Go take a number 2 seed somewhere in the country because we're taking a number 1 seed somewhere. And that's the mindset that you got to have as an Illinois flying a line. They might be even more exciting than that 89 team. But
Right.
but they need to go with that mentality, that attitude. And if they do, they're hoisting that trophy on Sunday.
Yeah, smart move by Juwan Howard to duck us 3 weeks ago, to cancel that game at the last minute because that was the reason why they won the Big Ten tournament. He pushed the game off on purpose because he knew if we would have played them that
COVID
first
issues.
time,
There's some COVID issues.
that's what I said, but come on now. You had enough guys to go, so don't go there. My whole thing was he was smart for doing that because the thing about Michigan and Michigan State, when it comes to Illinois teams, we don't like each other, okay? It's just like the Bulls and Pistons. If you represent the state of Michigan, we're not going to get along unless it's some type of music fest or something like that. That's the only way. But other than that, we don't like each other. And that goes all the way down to the college ranks. Jalen Rose can tell you that. All the Michigan State guys, the Flintstones can tell you that. They have no respect for Illinois. So Illinois got to realize this is personal. This goes further than that. And even especially seeing our very own Juwan Howard.
Jukin Juwan, baby.
Putting them back on the map. And we like, bro, come on now. Let's do this. We can't have this, So at the end of the day, thanks for ducking us 3 weeks ago. That's how y'all won the Big Ten tournament or the Big Ten championship this season. And we may see y'all in the tournament again.
What do you mean May? What do you mean May? They're going to see him.
If they don't get eliminated in the first round, we may see them again. So,
dude, Michigan's good. Michigan's good. Let's not sleep on them. Dude, Michigan doesn't get a number 2 seed in the country for nothing.
Yeah,
dude.
but they're a little overrated.
You act like they haven't played anybody. Come on, man. Don't be disrespectful to them. They had a good season. It just wasn't as good as Illinois. That's all it was. Illinois had a better season. Illinois showed them head to head. Like we know what's up.
We're not gonna get into a lot of trash talking with Michigan and Michigan State, but they all work together. Like I said, that's my conspiracy. They helped each other out because how in the world did Michigan blow out Michigan State on Thursday and then come back on a Saturday to help Michigan State get into almost get them into the tournament? So my thing is, this is some whole Michigan conspiracy mess. We coming for both of y'all. We ain't done with y'all yet. We talking a lot of trash right now, but our boys have to back it up. Bottom line.
They do. Hey, great stuff. Hey, Joseph, we got to go to break. Thanks for coming on, Papa. We appreciate it. New week, new goals. What are you going to be writing about this week?
This week will be on the NBA All-Star Weekend. Zach LaVine participating in his first NBA All-Star game. Also, Kenwood, the Kenwood girls and boys basketball team, man. If you ever get a chance to come into Hyde Park, man, check them out, man. They got a kid named J.J. Taylor, man, one of the top in the nation. He's a transfer from Morgan Park. And then last but not least, we got one of the best girls players in the nation right here in Hyde Park, and that's Brianna McDaniel, who just scored 1,000 points in her high school career. She did it in 2.5 years. So that's pretty good, bro.
Charlie, it is. Hey, well, listen, great stuff, Papa. We will see you on Wednesday, all right?
All right, peace out. God bless.
All right, guys, we got to take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, Kenneth Davis is going to take the baton from Joseph and join me as we welcome our guy, the man, the myth, the legend himself, John Dietz, because we're going to talk some Blackhawks hockey. And I want to see how he feels with this little mini playoff 3-game set went with the Tampa Bay Lightning. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago.
Hi, this is George Iceman Gervin. I listen to Shawn and Maya in the morning.
012, 012.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash
on 1330 and 95.9 The Zone.
13 points for Zach LaVine in the losing effort as Team LeBron beat Team LeBrant 170-150 at the NBA All-Star Game. Tough loss for the Blackhawks on Sunday following 6-3 at home against the Lightning. Chicago led it 2-0 after the first, but coughed up 4 goals in the middle period, 2 more in the third. Yannick Gord with 2 goals and 2 helpers for Tampa. Matthias Janmark with a goal and an assist for Chicago in the loss. They dropped to 13-8-5 with the setback. Points in 7 of 10. 6-game road trip begins tomorrow night. They'll also play Thursday at Dallas before heading to Florida for a pair against the Panthers and then 2 more against the Lightning. Major League Baseball spring training on Sunday. The Rockies with a 1-0 shutout over the White Sox. The Diamondbacks nipped the Cubs 5-4.
Chuck Sanders, that's the Sports Flash, 1330 95.9 The Zone.
What's in store for your business this week at Staples?
Printing you new signs for the times.
Get back to business with custom printed signs and sales materials. Staples has hundreds of designs to choose from, or just upload your own.
And now at Staples, get 15% off signs, posters, or decals when you spend $75 or more.
Some items printed same day when ordered before 2 p.m.
Save big on custom printing at Staples.
Ends 5/29/21. Exclusions apply. Limit 1 offer per customer. See store associate or visit staples.com/signage for details.
Receive a $5 rebate by trading up a non-contact thermometer toward an Exergen temporal scanner purchased at any retailer. Fever is a leading symptom of COVID, and using an accurate thermometer has never been more critical. In published studies, no-touch thermometers miss more fevers than they detect. While the new COVID vaccines are becoming more widely available, it is important to make sure you are protected. Monitor for fever with an accurate thermometer backed by more than 80 published peer-reviewed clinical studies. Details at Exergen.com, where accuracy matters.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago, and that was just Ivan being extra right there on that the double swirly swirls. Yeah, we can't hear you. Stay muted.
Everything
Stay muted.
was kosher.
Stay muted.
Everything
Stay
kosher.
muted. Stay muted. Stay muted. Hey, let's bring on my guy who's going to take the baton. He's going to run with me for the next hour. He is from That Davis Show, and you can find him on Twitter at That's Davis. Man, bring him out, my boy Kenneth Davis. What's up, Papa?
What's going on, man? How y'all doing?
No, you can't come out with that low energy, dog.
What's going on, man? How y'all?
That's what I'm talking about, Ken. That's what I'm talking. We had a good weekend. I had a kick-ass workout this morning at CrossFit. Man, won a couple trays this morning already. I'm good. I'm good to go, baby. It's a good week. It's a good Monday. Hey, beast mode on. See, Ivan, there you go with that nonsense, bro. Beast mode activated, Ken. Beast mode activated.
You're right. Beast mode activated.
Hey, new goals. Set
what
them
else did you do this
crush
weekend?
them. Set them and crush them. Goals. Set them and crush them. You know what? I didn't do much this weekend. I didn't do much. I chilled. I relaxed.
Huh?
I slept a lot. I did a lot of studying, for some stuff because summertime's coming. I need to be rolling that dough, Papa. I'll give up a 50-degree weekend, for 80-degree. Like, yeah, let's go kick it out of boat.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's go kick it out of boat, baby.
Talk that talk, Shawn. Talk that talk.
Sacrifice, baby. So I did it. No big deal. But it was cool.
Definitely.
It was chill. So,
good.
But listen, let's get to our next guy because I was so frustrated with that Blackhawks. Man, he covers the Blackhawks for the Daily Herald. Because me and you're gonna have enough time after the second half to talk a whole bunch of stuff, an All-Star game and everything else. But this guy, he covers the Blackhawks for the Daily Herald, and he's a great friend of the program. You can find him on Twitter at John Dietz DH. Guys, let's bring him out. John Dietz, what's up, buddy? How are you?
Hey, man, I think you need a little more coffee.
I don't. You know what? I don't drink coffee. I don't.
I know. I'm joking. You're on so. You seem like you're on so
I need more.
Right now.
I need more CrossFit in my life. I love it.
Yeah.
You know what? It was a great workout this morning. I feel good. I got my bananas and my apples, bananas and peanut butter, for the protein, healthy breakfast. Summertime's coming. If I can get a 4-pack in, I'll be good. I don't know about 6-pack, but a 4-pack, man, I'll be happy as a pig in slop. At 50 years old, because my birthday will be, I'm right behind you. I'm right behind you, John.
When is
my
it?
birthday's July 25th.
Oh, you're almost my half birthday. So happy. Well, you'll be So enjoy your 40s for your last 4 months.
I
It's
am.
kind of like like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm 50. It's like, oh,
You're
where
like,
did
I'm
all the years go?
half a century. Half
I
a
know.
century. You're right. Where the hell did all the years go? That is the crazy question. So, but yeah, let's get right to it, man. This Blackhawks team had a little mini playoff series. I loved it. I was happy when I saw it. The defending Stanley Cup champions, Tampa Bay Lightning, and you can call them what you want, a paper champion because it was a short season, whatever. They still hoisted the cup in there. Whether you want to put an asterisk by their name or not, it doesn't matter. They're still the Stanley Cup champions. And this, for me, was a great litmus test for the Blackhawks because of the young talent they have, the sophomores who got some playoff action last year, and then the rookies who this year they're playing well, but they haven't played. And it's not that they haven't played the level of competition of Tampa Bay; it's playing them consecutively. Because when you get in a playoff series, it's adjustments. It's not necessarily who's better; it's who makes better adjustments. And that's what I wanted to see from this guy. And would they be able to maintain that level of intensity for all 3 games? And I liked what I saw for 2 games and 20 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, so first of all, the Lightning are not. There's no asterisk next to that Stanley Cup or paper stuff. That was there's a legit Stanley Cup champion right there. I mean, that's a 70-game season they played last year. They all played the regular. They played a longer playoffs than usual, although the Lightning didn't have to play the first round. So yeah, So I'm just gonna say that they're a legit, Stanley Cup champion, and they're a phenomenally talented team. And remember, Nikita Kucherov isn't even playing this year because he's injured. So yeah, the Hawks played really well. I mean, I thought going in, honestly, I asked around and everybody said 2 points would be considered good for the Hawks. 2 out of 6, right? Possible standings points. And they got that after the second game with a victory, obviously, in the shootout. So I honestly thought they could get 0 or 1. I mean, Tampa Bay came in at 16-3-1. So, the Hawks are at home, but this is a team that only surrendered 7 points to opponents all season. I guess 8, because 1 was an overtime loss. So 8 points to opponents all season. They'd shut out 3 straight opponents coming in. They had allowed 6 goals in the previous 6 games combined. So what did you? I don't know. I expected 0 or 1, maybe 2 points at the most. But you're right. I mean, they played great. The biggest thing with the Hawks they're having problems with right now, and this is a thing that all teams have to learn as they're growing and maturing, and probably at every level of sports, right, is when you get a lead, you have to figure out how to protect it, obviously, but then kind of like pretend like the score's still tied. I know that's like human nature's hard, right, Shawn? Like I don't know, in a football game when you get up 21-0, it's easy to pull the foot off the gas and be like, we got this, I mean, maybe you don't really say that, but so in the back of your mind, you're saying, hey, I'm up 3. How many times have we seen football teams kind of blow 17, not a lot, but 17-point, 14-point leads, even in the fourth quarter, because all it takes is a couple possessions, you're running the ball, you're getting conservative. And so the same thing can happen in hockey. You just kind of put your foot off the gas, and the other team will realize, oh my God.
So John, is that what you're saying? Because Joseph, who sat with me in the first hour, are you saying that you think that the Hawks took their foot off the gas pedal?
I think 2 things. I think they took their foot off the gas a little bit, yep. Especially in the third period of the first game. And Jeremy even admitted it. Look, the Hawks came out with a power play, Shawn, in the beginning of the third period of the first game. They're leading 2-0, right? And they let up a shorthanded goal. And if you watch that power play, you see how just like they needed to attack that power play. Like, if we score here, we're going to win. We're going to go up 3-0 and we're going to win. But instead, rewatch the power play of there. They just look just like, oh, whatever. And, and so then Tampa Bay got the puck, got a chance, got a tip, got a goal. They're back in the game. They had tied it in 3 minutes, basically. In 3 minutes, they had tied the game. So, yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. And then yesterday, you're up 3-0, and you get a cruddy call. I mean, that call on Hagel was, I don't root for anybody, right? I'm a reporter. I'm neutral right down the middle. But that call on Hagel was just weak. I mean, and Carlton even said, another player probably doesn't get that call. But he's a rookie, so he gets nailed with the call. And then they score again, and the game's over before you blink, right? So, yeah. You have to be careful. You have to be careful when you're playing teams like this, or any team. And they blew a lead to Columbus 3 weeks ago, right? A 2-goal lead in the third period, and they lost in regulation in that game. They've blown a lot of points that they could have had. But having said all that, they are firmly in 4th place in a playoff spot, so you can't complain if you're a Hawks fan.
Okay, then I will apologize to Joe on Wednesday. You said you felt that they took their foot off the gas. I didn't. I thought it was more Tampa Bay saying, we're Tampa Bay. We're the Stanley Cup champions because their intensity just amped up. And I don't know about, and from my opinion, I don't know about them not taking their foot off the pedal. I think they were shell shocked. I think some of those young guys had never been under that type of pressure. When the pressure that the pressure that the Lightning put on those guys was ridiculous. That when the Hawks were on the power play, it didn't even look like they had a man advantage because they're always in the passing lanes. They were checking the guy with the puck, and they rotated so quickly. I was like, wait a minute, there is only 4 guys out there, but they were everything. And I don't think that the youngsters, maybe even the sophomores, the guys who had a good playoff run last year, I don't think that they were used to that pressure. And I think they might have been shell shocked. Personally, that's just what my thought.
Yeah, no, there's definitely some truth to that. I mean, Tampa Bay's phenomenally talented, right? I mean, have to be on. If you go back and watch the very first game, the Hawks were 100%. The first 2 periods, being there, you can watch more than just what you see on TV too, right? So you see what's going on all over the ice, and they are just flying all over the place. Everybody's flying the entire 40 minutes. It was really impressive to watch. It was their best 40 minutes of the season. And then, it's tough to maintain that for an entire game, first of all. Second of all, what you're saying about the young players is true. It's tough to match up with some of those guys all game long. And one little mistake somewhere in the zone, like Wyatt Kalyanek, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but the rookie who played his first game yesterday, right, turned the puck over behind the net. It's still a 4-3 game at that point. Turns the puck over. About 15 seconds later, Tampa Bay scores, making 5-3. So it's just, any little turnover against a team like that can result in obviously a goal or a chance the other way, or a blown scoring chance if you're in the offensive zone. So et cetera, et cetera. I mean, it was a tough matchup. They got 3 points, and I don't know. I think they got to be happy. I know they're happy about it. I know they're not happy about blowing 2 leads, but
right.
It's a growing process, right?
That's exactly, John. I'm saying, guys, we're joined by John Dietz from the Daily Herald, talking a little Blackhawks hockey right here on Shawn and Maya on SportsZone Chicago. And that's what I said. It's a growing process. It's a process. They have to learn how to win. The youngsters, the sophomores from last year, they had some playoff experience, so they're there. But the rookies that we have this year, they're talented, but you don't understand playoff hockey until you're there. And this was a pretty good simulation of playoff hockey when you're dealing with the Stanley Cup champions because of what I mentioned. You 3 games in a row, okay, the adjustments that are made, the speed and the ability, because they didn't show that speed. When you're that good, a lot of times you'll play to the point where the other team just can't beat you. But when they still might leave a lot more room, and that's what Tampa Bay did. And when they were down 3 and they turned it up, that reminded me of the Dynasty Hawks in 10, 13, and 14 and 15. That reminded me of those guys, how super quick. I mean, hell, 19 seconds, in Boston. So you see how quickly they scored. 17 seconds. My bad. Why did I say 19?
I don't know. Hawks fans are going to be screaming. Like, I wasn't. You got to make sure you get the right number there, man. Don't want to make them mad.
Definitely not. No, definitely not. That might not be allowed in the United Center.
Real quick point about yesterday. Calvin DeHaan wasn't playing. He's injured. He may come back the next game. We're not sure. And then with Connor Murphy's match penalty midway through the second period, and the game is still tied at 3-3. You've lost 2 of your best defensemen. Now you're asking 4 out of 6 defensemen on the ice who have played less than 75 games. I don't know what Boquist is at, but way, way less than 75 games between the 4 of them. And that's a lot to take on for those 4 guys. So you've only got really 2 experienced guys out there in Keith and Zadorov. So that's, people miss that a little bit, right? Half the game was spent without Murphy, and the entire game was spent without DeHaan. So
let me have one more question, because I know Ken's got a question, but my question to you, since you mentioned it, give me your call on the Connor Murphy hit. I loved it. He came up a little. He didn't target the head. He targeted the chest, which he got, but he just got in this gave a little and that's where it hit the head.
I'm glad you brought it up. Yeah, I'm glad you brought it up, Shawn, because I could talk about it for a while. But I rewatched it yesterday when I came home, and I didn't like it personally. Now, that's one thing. And the one thing in the hockey business that I find odd, maybe it's sports in general, I don't know. If the guy is your guy hitting the other guy, it's always okay. And if it's the other way around, and it's your guy getting hit, it was always a
cheap shot.
Right?
Cheap shot.
It always works that way. It's no matter what, no matter how dirty the hit was, that's the way the coaches always.
Keep your head on the swivel, damn it.
But if you go, so don't watch it.
It was dirty.
So look, you're allowed to hit guys, right, in hockey, just like you're allowed to smash guys in football, right? And I don't know, like 30 years ago, I don't know how much of a big deal that hit would have been because, but
Right.
now when they're talking about head injuries, head hits, head hunting, look at all the ways they've changed football rules. I hate some of the football rules, right? I mean, the way they've changed
Don't get
the
me
game.
started,
The way
John.
you
Don't
fall
get
on
me
a quarter-
started. Don't get me
I know,
started.
fall on a quarterback, that's a 15-yard penalty, right? I know. So we can go really big there. But the bottom line is, if you're going to make that hit, you have to make sure you're not going to hit his head. And I know they're going 1,000 miles an hour, right? So it's really hard to say that. And the guy's turning his head at the last second, and it's hard, right? I mean,
Ivan, what did I say? What did
been
I
on skates
say,
going-
Ivan?
I've never
What
been
did
on-
I say? Here, this is what I said. Ivan, what did I say?
Yeah, he said it was 1,000 miles an hour. It's just like there's
I
no
said
way.
hit him, and I said hit him in the freaking ribs.
And he
hit
said
him in the ribs.
break him. He said break his ribs on top of that. So it got a little graphic, but he said, hey, I mean that's
Part of
you know what's
the-
around.
I just think of now because we and DBs have to adjust, especially with wide receivers. DBs have to adjust. You can't go to the head to the chest shoulder to the head. Okay, you got to stay down here as a DB. So okay, no problem. I'm thinking same thing with hockey, and it's a lot more difficult because you're flying on skates. You know what? You have to attack the midsection. My thought is okay, start going at ribs. You know what? That'll keep your head in a swivel. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but he went after his head though, Shawn.
He went here and then give it.
No. He went back. He tried. He didn't hit him with the shoulder.
if you watch
He kind of
look,
just
look.
got his back there.
Right. If you watch it again, he kind of raises up, so it's
at the end he gave him the.
I didn't like it. You can slow down and look at everything. You can look at everything frame by frame if you want, but games aren't played frame by frame. Games are played at 50, like you said, 1,000 miles an hour. So anyway, we'll see what happens. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets suspended for a game or two.
Yeah,
I think he's definitely getting suspended. I apologize too for all of you for my internet connection. My Wi-Fi and my hotspot's been acting up, and it's embarrassing. But look, that was dirty. All right. When I was watching it this morning, I watched it several times. I'm like, oh no, it wasn't dirty. I was like, wait, he kind of went for him. He didn't hit him square with the shoulder, but he went for his head. And we know you can't go head hunting. He's just being a homer over there, saying just go for it anyway. No. Anyway, that's not the point. I don't even know how many things have been discussed since my internet's been going in and out. So one thing that I want to ask you, John, what are the salary ramifications of Brent Seabrook retiring? Is it going to be like Hossa? Like how much? What are the Blackhawks getting back, or are they getting back anything that would allow them to perhaps be able to go out and get any players in the future, or sign some of the young players that may be coming up on free agency?
John, do you hear that?
It's a great question, Kenneth, and it's exactly like the Hossa situation. There's no difference in it. So, yeah, I did. Yeah, can you guys got me now?
Yeah, we got you. Yeah, we got you.
You guys got me now?
Yep.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lag.
Okay.
Sorry, there's gonna be
sorry.
just like a.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying it's the same as the exact thing as the Hossa situation, where anytime a guy is on LTIR, you save that money. It's like every day you save that money. You can bank it. It's a very complicated situation. So, and not only it's not just Seabrook right now. They've got other guys on LTIR like Shaw, who has a whole nother year left on his contract. Taves is on LTIR. Is he coming back? They have $30 million on LTIR. Think about that. That's almost 40% of the salary cap. So there's a few things they can do. They can trade him, which Seabrook would have to waive his no trade clause, which I don't know. He would probably not have a problem doing that, but we didn't ask really Stan about that. They could trade him kind of like they did with Hossa. So Hossa, remember, he got sent to Arizona, and they sent him Hinostroza and Osterley, and the Hawks got like nothing back. And they just did it to get the number off the books, because you're right. It is hard. You have to go into day one of every season cap compliant. And if you're not, then you have to. Hawks don't have an issue with that now, but they might down the road. Like you said, you cannot buy him out. You cannot buy out a guy that's on LTIR. So that option is now gone. That was something they could have done before he got injured. So those are a couple options, and it gets more complicated because of how many people are on LTIR possibly down the road. We don't know. Like I said, we don't know what's going to go with Taves. Let's just say Taves comes back. That helps a lot. But I don't know about Shaw. I don't know if he comes back. That's $10 million on LTIR. But the good thing for the Hawks is that they're rebuilding. There's no expectations right now. There's tons of guys who are young. So you don't. And if the Hawks, if the Hawks contender in this year or two, they had to keep Seabrook on the books. You could start to get a guy at the trade deadline, and our money. You can very complicated way it works. So real quickly, you can save 1/180th of his salary every day as the season's going along, right? Because that's how there's 180 season. So every day that goes by, you can save that money.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to spend it too. It's hard. I mean, it's too much to get into. But the bottom line is they can trade him. They can trade him if he waives a note contract, and that's how it would work. Okay.
And John, you mentioned the young players. How quick? And I know it's half of the season. Well, not even half of the season. But how quick now, looking at these players and watching them, do you think in 2 years perhaps can the Hawks get back to being the Hawks that we all prefer? Like, are you really seeing like the move that has made is going to be a quick rebuild, or is it going to be a long haul rebuild so far? And I guess I'm asking, what players are standing out to make you think there is something in the future?
Yeah, I mean, they're already way ahead of the curve right now, right? I mean, I predict 15 or 20 games this year, being last place right next to Detroit. So I think the rebuild is way ahead of schedule. Some of these guys are playing way better than we ever thought they would. I mean, we didn't know a lot about most of them. Lankinen and Subban have kind of been the most impressive overall, though they're starting to show some cracks in the armor, right? Some of these goals are starting to go in a little more than you'd like to see. But those two guys, obviously, we'll start with the goalies because they've been playing way better than any of us thought. And then we'll go to some of the forwards. Like, how about Brandon Hagel? I mean, we knew that guy. We knew he was fast and he was a scorer as a young guy, but who knew he had this tenacity all over the ice? Wins puck battles absolutely everywhere, has incredible ice awareness, can pass the puck all over the place. He's on the second line. I go on and on about Hagel. He's probably a lot of fans' favorite player and well-deserved as he should be. A couple guys who don't get noticed as much are Pio
Suter
and Shev, who are up and kind of learning the NHL game, but they've scored, I think, 14 goals. Yeah, 14 to 16 goals between the two of them. I've lost track of exactly where they are. I think it's 14. So that's an incredible number for those two guys. And then how about the defensemen? Ian Mitchell's been steady all season. Adam Boqvist he's up and down, but I've really been impressed with him in this series. He broke up some plays like, wow, look at him just getting in passing lanes, breaking up 2-on-1s, things like that. Nick Bodan, who's in Rockford right now, has been, I think, more impressive than Mitchell, actually. And a lot of people are like, what is he doing in Rockford? You know, sometimes it's part of the development process. You want to keep a guy down there playing a lot of minutes, let him learn, and to me that's fine. I mean, a lot of fans want him up here, but you know, you're redeveloping or you're developing. So, and there's I know I'm missing somebody among the defensemen. So I don't know. They're all playing. Those are the biggest names that I can think of and that are playing really, really well. And that's why you're seeing this rebuild work so well, and you're still got other guys that are coming up. So to answer your question, Kenneth, within 2 years, if they do incorrectly and Taves and Doc come back, remember they're doing all this without Taves and Doc, right?
Mm-hmm.
They come back and play at the top of their game. I think next year they could be a serious.
Yes.
Defense.
You know,
Nice.
John, I agree with you, and here's why. Because of what I said earlier. So the sophomores that we got this year, the second-year players, they had that playoff experience, and they're used to it now. Like, holy cow, it's a whole different animal. These young guys haven't played. The rookies haven't had that playoff experience yet, although this past week was very similar to the playoff. So with that experience moving into next year and getting a Kirby Doc and getting a Captain Jonathan Toews back, yeah, that's it's going to do wonders for that team, because now when the captain comes back into Kirby Doc, you know, they're going to deal with some guys who are seasoned, who have some playoff experience. You know, the sophomores, I guess they'll be juniors, their third-year players next year will have 2 years of playoff experience, and the youngsters will have 1 year of playoff experience. So now you're dealing with a team that as a whole, for the most part, everybody has playoff experience, and now you can really they can raise a level. That's where the captain comes in, and Kane comes in, and Duncan Keith. Those guys. Okay, now that you're seasoned there, now let's take it to another level, because it's very difficult for young guys to turn it to another level in playoff hockey when you haven't been in playoff hockey, because it is a completely different animal. And once they had it and they had a taste of it, now they've experienced it. Now they know what to do. So I think next year is going to be good. As long as Lankinen stays pretty strong, him and Subban stay pretty strong, I think they'll be a force to reckon with. Hey, John, phenomenal stuff, buddy. Do me a favor, let everyone know where they can find you and your work online.
Yep. You can get me at John Dietz, DH, on Twitter. Obviously, dailyherald.com for just searching my name. Will bring up all of our articles. A couple good pieces on Seabass a couple days after, he decided to hang them up. Barry Rosner also wrote a couple great pieces on Seabrook that you guys should check out. And then for the upcoming week, I got a lot of stuff planned. So Kane's 1,000th game is tomorrow. We got a midway report card, a fan Q&A. And also, it's the 1-year anniversary of sports basically being shut down in March. So I'm going to write a column about that. Just some of the things we kind of miss as reporters covering the sports because it's been to do our jobs the way we want to, as we all know.
Yeah, I know you want to be in that locker room with the players, and they want to be in that press room downstairs. I know you do, because we'll be listening, and John Dietz, Daily Herald, and like, yeah, Johnny, get him, boy, get him. Hey, great stuff, John. We'll talk soon, okay?
Have a good one, John.
All right, boys. See you later.
All righty. Guys, that was John Dietz in the Daily Herald. Man, I love talking to him, dude. Love talking to him.
Definitely. A good follow and a good listen. I wanted to ask him about the goaltending situation, but we didn't get a chance. Like I said, my internet was on trash mode, so I'll have to wait till the next time.
Yeah, no problem. That hit was I just want it lower, dude. I just want lower. You know what?
Yeah. I wanted lower too. Listen, watching it, I'm like, okay, it's not going to be dirty because, like John said, you usually think your guys aren't necessarily trying to be dirty. And I'm like, whoa, that was the head up towards the head. And I'm like, well, in my head, I'm like, he didn't hit him with the shoulder. He kind of hit him with the back, but he did. He went high. He went high.
He raised. Right, so, he raised it. Yeah. He lifted on contact.
Shorty went down. So that you got to go out, and we know he's gonna get suspended. It's one of those things. It's unnecessary, to say the least.
I understand where Shawn was coming from, even though it was kind of graphic the way he put it. But if that's the case, then lay his ass out in the middle. You know what I mean? Go ahead and light up that middle. Where's the green zone on where you can hit on the body? Because I mean, he did give him a shoulder check, but Connor Murphy, like Shawn said, he's one of your guys that can get nasty, that can get downright dirty with you, and you need him. But I need him to go ahead and light up that midsection, and like you said, break some ribs. Like I mean, not trying to be. That's part of the game. That's
but that wasn't the ribs. Ribs are up here. No ribs up here.
Ribs up there. No, right.
No ribs up here.
No ribs in the head area. But I get where he's coming from. Like, light up those ribs. I like the way the Hawks played, man. They played really aggressive, and it looked really good for damn near, 3 games?
2 games in 20 minutes.
Yeah, 2 games in 20 minutes, So I like the way they're going, but I agree with you. It was too high.
So, you know what? That's fine. Just go at people's ribs. Crack a rib, break a rib, and just, you know what? Because, you know what? You hit the right dude. You hit their star. Guess what? He can't breathe. Because I play with cracked ribs, bro, and that is nothing nice.
I've never had a cracked rib. Fortunately, I've never had a cracked rib. It sounds painful. Anytime we're inhaling and exhaling, it hurts and it aches. I won't know. I've had, and this is not the same. I remember junior year getting an ear infection. I couldn't put my helmet on. And when the wind would blow past, it was this year, when the wind would blow past my ear, it hurt. So to think about your rib, and you have to inhale and exhale, and every time, let alone do you hear the crunch? Dude, that I want no parts of that. So hats off to you, Shawn. All right, therefore we're playing with crap ribs, because no.
That was the first. We were going down for our first national championship in Florida, and we had to run a 4-minute offense. And we had to run the clock out, and I was not putting the backup running back in there. I'm like, no, because we were up 5. I'm like, there's no freaking way I'm giving that joker a chance to fumble. And so anytime I was about to get contact, I slid. And, So the first, and I'd have to, dude, I'd lean over his shoulder, so I carried the ball like 5 times with a crack rib, and it was, that wasn't the.
It's like the Emmett shoulder game.
Yeah. Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
You know, I stayed on the ground for a second, like, and then they're like, "No, let's run." No, we're running the goddamn ball. We're running the damn ball. Don't worry about me. We're good. Because like I said, we were going down to play. If we won that game and won the league championship, we were going down to Florida to play for the national championship, and so we did. And I had 2 weeks to heal, so I was. A month. No, it was in November, so we played in January, so I was fine in January. But there was nothing stopping me from getting back on that field to make sure we won it. And it was literally, that's how you breathe. No, that's not happening. Dude, that was terrible. Terrible.
Yeah. Hey, but you did it. You did it, though, Shawn.
Did it,
Look
baby.
at you.
Did it.
Did it.
Hey, listen, we got to take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, Kenneth and I are going to go at it, man. We're going to talk some NBA. We're going to talk some.
Dude, that game yesterday, that was a sweet one. That was a sweet one, man. That was a sweet one.
Why? Just because everyone was shooting from half court and making them?
Yeah.
So we're going to talk more NBA and little good guys from the South Side. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya on SportsZone Chicago.
Hey, this is Dr. J, and I listen to Shawn and Maya in the morning.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash
on 1330 and 95.9 The Zone.
13 points for Zach LaVine in the losing effort as Team LeBron beat Team LeBrant 170-150 at the NBA All-Star Game. Tough loss for the Blackhawks on Sunday following 6-3 at home against the Lightning. Chicago led it 2-0 after the first, but coughed up 4 goals in the middle period, 2 more in the third. Yannick Gord with 2 goals and 2 helpers for Tampa. Matthias Janmark with a goal and an assist for Chicago in the loss. They dropped to 13-8-5 with the setback. Points in 7 of 10. 6-game road trip begins tomorrow night. They'll also play Thursday at Dallas before heading to Florida for a pair against the Panthers and then 2 more against the Lightning. Major League Baseball spring training on Sunday, the Rockies with a 1-0 shutout over the White Sox. The Diamondbacks nipped the Cubs 5-4.
Chuck Sanders, that's the Sports Flash, 1330 95.9 The Zone.
What's in store for your business this week at Staples?
Printing you new signs for the times.
Get back to business with custom printed signs and sales materials. Staples has hundreds of designs to choose from, or just upload your own.
And now at Staples, get 15% off signs, posters, or decals when you spend $75 or more.
Some items printed same day when ordered before 2 p.m.
Save big on custom printing at Staples.
Ends 5/29/21. Exclusions apply. Limit 1 offer per customer. See store associate or visit staples.com/signage for details.
Receive a $5 rebate by trading up a non-contact thermometer toward an Exergen temporal scanner purchased at any retailer. Fever is a leading symptom of COVID, and using an accurate thermometer has never been more critical. In published studies, no-touch thermometers miss more fevers than they detect. While the new COVID vaccines are becoming more widely available, it is important to make sure you are protected. Monitor for fever with an accurate thermometer backed by more than 80 published peer-reviewed clinical studies. Details at Exergen.com, where accuracy matters.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago. And I'm joined by my man, Ken Davis from That Davis Show. Just got off with John Dietz from the Daily Herald talking Blackhawks hockey. And I'm really excited, about this Blackhawk team, the youth, and this playoff.
It's quick.
It's coming really fast, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. I'm not even going to go there, but it's coming. The level of play that they're at is a lot further than I thought, the fans thought, and I probably even think maybe even the organization thought. Don't worry, we're not going to give it back. We don't want that, but it's a lot. They're playing at a higher level a lot sooner than I really gave them credit for. I thought that would happen, and you know what? For me, giving shit to Jeremy Colleton all the time, I got to take my hat off to him. If I'm gonna get on him because the team isn't playing well, then I got to be the first to praise him when the team is playing well. Then they are, and so
guys out,
with
guys out, significant guys. So I was just going to say that about him. Like, got to give him his props. Listen, I know Stan gets beat up, but that's why you put him in there. Is a guy that was with some of these kids in the minors. Hey, all right. You sit there, you scouted your next man. You got him. He's doing well. The team's doing well. And that was the reason why I asked John that question, because to me, it seems like that, I won't say that window, but that projection that, man, this may take three, maybe 3.5 years. It seems, and I'm looking in from the outside, but to me, just looking in from the peripheral, it seems like, hey, this is hastening. This is like 1.5 years if everyone can get healthy. You know what I'm saying? And look, and then let alone the goaltender situation. Remember how it was like, remember letting go of Corey Crawford was the signal that they were rebuilding. And to sit there and have steady play is significant.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, you know what, it's we didn't know what was going to happen. We're like, no Corey Crawford. Okay, well, great. And here it is. You know, it's a crap season, crap defense, crap defenseman, no goalie. We're going to expect, you know, this is a rebuild year. And this just came across the wire a few while ago when we were with John. I was going to say it then, but I'm like, yeah, it's not that important. But and according to ESPN.com, the Chicago Cubs and the Chicago White Sox will have fans in the stands. Chicago, the city, is to allow 20% capacity with at least 6 feet between parties for MLB on opening day. So, yeah.
Dude,
and,
I can't wait.
Now that's a good time to play Jose Abreu. Thank you very much.
Yeah, put the MVP up there. Put the MVP up there. Yeah, there we go.
Just superimpose the trophy right in front of him while he's dancing. That's all we need. Oh man, so that's good news. I already talked to my guy Hirsch. He's having Hirsch outing. He's having opening day. He's just got to see how many tickets he's going to get because he's not going to be able to sell the 300 or 400 that he usually sells. So, no, he's sick with it, dude. He's sick with it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Opening day is not even his biggest day, dude. His biggest day is Greek night. His sister went to DePaul, and she's part of that Greek life, and so he sold 800 tickets for just the different Greeks.
Oh, all right.
That's why I'm telling you got to get in on it, bro. I'm telling you, it's like tickets are super cheap. They're like $30 or $40, but it includes the taco maker and all the tacos you can eat. So you just bring your drink in the parking lot. We got DJs, we got house music, we got hip hop. It's off the chain. We might even do a Shawn and Maya from the parking lot. We're going to see if we can get that going with the Cubs home opener. Yeah, I mean the Sox home opener. Yeah, because we're probably going to do the Cubs home opener at Output on the north side like we did last year too. So,
okay.
But
all right.
South
Shout out to Shawn and Maya.
Man, that parking lot, get it jumping, boy.
Doing it big. What are you sipping on? What's your drinky drink?
So now, because Gout acted up on me, you know, just being because I don't really drink. I don't drink beer anymore. I'll have one or two, but I gotta if I know I'm gonna have beer, I'm gonna take some ibuprofen. I'll take 600 or 800 milligrams of ibuprofen.
That gout medicine is expensive as you know what.
Well, I just take ibuprofen.
Have you ever listen? I got crept up with the gout, right? And I got insurance, and I went to get it. I swear, with insurance, that medicine was like $170-something.
Ooh,
I'm like, what, dude? I'm like, what? I still got like 2 of those bad boys. Like, I'm not using all of this, and I haven't had it in a real long time. But I had it because I went to one of those seafood places where they boil everything in the bag. And I love seafood, but I didn't really grow up eating crawfish. And I think that triggered it, that having that type of shellfish triggered it. Cause I mean, my foot, it was hard walking, but yeah, the medicine is super expensive. You don't want gout anybody out there. Just to be healthy. Yeah. Just be healthy.
This is what you do, Ken. Just fill your body with this, bro. The pH, because gout is uric acid. And this is, acids 1 or 2 on the pH scale and
alkaline.
This is 9.5. So that's so I might not even have gout anymore because this is all I drink, but just if I know I'm going to go have some beer or I'm going to have some scrimp, then I'll have, I'll pop 600 milligrams just in case. But so when I sip what we'll have there, like I'll bring some vodka because you know what's really good vodka? It's stuff you get from Costco, bro. They have that big, it's called. I wish I'd had it. It's in my.
Shawn, I hope you couldn't grab it from this right.
It's actually Ken. It's actually worse. It's in the trunk of my car.
It's fine. It's fine. If you knew how close, listen, I'm making fun of you. If you knew how close my whiskey was to me right now, it would be shameful to say the least.
So I drink. So I'll have vodka with club soda and lemon. So I'll cut up a quarter lemon and squeeze it in and then make it in because it's vodka and club is just kind of bland, but it's the lack of calories is what I'm looking for. And so I'll squeeze the lemon in there, give it some flavor, lemon or lime. And if I'm at a bar, I'll say throw some lemon or lime juice in there just for the flavor. And it's good stuff. And dude, that creeps up on you. That's good. That's good stuff. And then what's really funny, so what they'll do is when the line gets long, because everyone brings bottles. So they'll have a table. They'll have a table, just a shot table while you're waiting in line because the line will be so long. And it's like, hey, give me some JMO. Pour you some JMO. Give me some what's Fireball? You do some Fireball, just whatever. Everybody just shares.
You throw Fireball with everything, anything. So that's good. But yeah, all right. I hear you. I'll show up to one of these.
Man, Charlie, you're gonna have some fun.
I can't drink that much though. Like going into the game, I remember when I first started going back to Sox games. That I was getting in there and it was like getting a little lather up and it was like, you know what? It's really not this serious. Right. So, I mean, I definitely will have a drink or whatever, but it's like, no, man, I got to get to the crib after that. So let me slow my roll down as I'm aging or whatever. But yeah, I love Mexican food. So you telling me that there's tacos there, ding, 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 ding. Like I'm right there. That's all you have to necessarily say.
Chicken, steak, and pork will have all three. They have, asada
pollo, give me al pastor.
There you go.
I'm good. I'm happy.
Yeah, so I'll let you know when that comes around.
But dude, yesterday,
Charlie,
I watched it. I had something I had to do yesterday. We'll probably talk about it sometime during this week because it's kind of out right now. But it's not that big of a deal. But I watched it last night after late because, the old lady, she likes to watch the Saturday stuff. So first of all, I'm watching the game, right? And then she comes down here with the kids and she's like, put on the skills challenge. It's like, I'm watching the game. But I know that's always been our thing, the Saturday night events. Like as a family, we would do that. Before we had kids, we would do that. So put that on or whatever, the 3-point contest. Actually, and they didn't know. I didn't even tell it. I'm like, I already saw who won 3-point contest, right? I was like, when I turned to it, I saw Steph or whatever, but that was really good. The slam dunk was terrible. To have a two-way player in there was unacceptable. All right. That was just ridiculous to say the least. But man, that All-Star game, Shawn, harken back to like when we were younger in the early 90s. I'm talking about Magic coming back after leaving the games, leaving the NBA due to HIV. Just that the camaraderie and the joy and the fun, dude. And I hate the fact, and I'll tell you this: what's messed up? How Dame Lillard doesn't get his props. They replayed 2 to 3 times the Steph alley-oop to CP3 and the CP3 alley-oop to Steph, but the first one was an alley-oop to Dame. And started and it's like, why are y'all doing him like that? But dude, you had these point guards throwing alley-oops to each other.
Point guards.
And then it was so. And again, of course, if we're talking about pure basketball, yeah, I get it. But even when we were kids, they would showboat. You know what I'm saying? And do things where it wasn't necessarily about basketball. In the fourth quarter, it would start to get intense when we were younger. But it was a throwback to me for the new school of what like an all-star game was supposed to. That was a really fun all-star game, man. I have to say that. And listen, on top of that, LeBron didn't even play in the second half. And that's
rest. I'll take it easy.
Yeah, also, I think, when you look at the fact of what he has to do with the Lakers with Anthony Davis being out, but I also think it was a little bit of Malcolm and Martin. Because CP3 was out there the whole time. And he's the players union president, right? So he has to go along with what Adam said. Not have to go along, but have to be the good person for the most part. Well, LeBron could at times play the heavy, and like he said, my body will be there, but my mind won't. I think slightly it was a protest, to be honest with you, which I have no problem with. Because in all fairness, it was stupid to have an all-star game. Now, I mean, not financially because the NBA still needs that highlight event even during the pandemic. But when you're talking about if someone has COVID, you could have infected the entire NBA yesterday. Right? Like everyone's taking it back home. Like that's where the problem with the players is like exactly. Like you could have infected the whole NBA. But I mean, to me, it was a pleasure. I thoroughly enjoyed that game, man. Sean, well, how did you feel watching it?
You know what was cool about it is what you talked about, and for whatever reason, like Dame just doesn't get any love, dude. Look at that from half court splash. Like Dame doesn't get any love, and then Steph splash. You know, it's like I don't know what, because he plays in Portland. You put him in New York, you put him in Chicago, you put him in Miami, you put him in LA. Hell,
I got someplace to put him, Sean. I thought yesterday.
Yeah?
It's funny you say that. And listen, it's not even a big market.
Dame time.
You know where. Listen, if David Stern was alive, do you know just as far as fixing trades or something? Do you know where Damian Lillard should have ended up? If I was the NBA, where I would have steered him, and Portland would have just been upset with me, right? To let you know it wouldn't have happened. Dame should be with Giannis
in Milwaukee.
Yes, Dame. If you listen. If he was with him and Giannis together, dog, that's what Giannis needs. And look, we didn't even talk about Giannis going 16 for 16.
And that crazy off the backboard, that call the three-pointer.
It's like, don't know what. Okay. Like, Giannis was 16 for 16. Dog. Listen, I was talking trash. Giannis was up there. I was with the family. I was like, you're not winning MVP this year, buddy. And I love Giannis Antetokounmpo, right? So I'm not saying it like he's a player I dislike. I love him. But like at this point, you can't win back to back to back, and you're not even making it to the finals. Like it's your time's over at this until you get to the finals, Giannis. Then you can start getting back to getting MVP. But for him to get the All-Star MVP and put that in his trophy case, I was happy to see that, man. It was fun, man. And one thing I was watching it, I was thinking about the greatness of LeBron and how it's going to be gone soon. And LeBron is our link to the older generations because of his greatness. And I was like, well, is there really someone here that's taking it? And I was like, is Giannis really doing it? And Giannis reminded me like, yeah, I may not be able to shoot, but I'm out here doing it. And I see a young Luka out there, and you look at all the point guards, and it's like, and we always hear it, the league's in good hands. You know what I'm saying? But that was just awesome, man. Like, and listen, they shouldn't have done it during the pandemic in poor Atlanta and everybody going down there. They couldn't even get into the games, spreading the Rona. But man, it was awesome to watch on TV and be safe.
Ken, did you see some of the videos?
Of course.
Oh my God. Ken, I was sitting there. I'm like, there's no room to move. I'm like, you can't move.
Look, Ivan, it's low key. Atlanta during this whole pandemic has been like Texas. All right, low key. They've been Black Texas. All right, like, hey, we gonna make this money. All right, like, are we gonna close? Not really, right? Like,
right.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. Atlanta's been open, right? And it's just, dude. I mean, did you see the girls in the U-Haul?
No.
Yeah, no, I didn't. So someone put a joke on there and I didn't get it. So
go to if you can find Little Duval's Instagram, because they took him off Instagram. It's like Little Duval again now. He has like two posts. He has a post, one there at the gas station. You see a lady in a party attire, right? A hot girl outfit. Get out the back of the U-Haul, right? And when I'm watching it, I'm like, this isn't what you wear in the U-Haul. And then they go and show you the cops pulling them over another day. And listen, it's a real legit U-Haul as far as there's no seats up in this bad boy in the back. So these ladies are just fumbling around probably when they're making turns. Dude, it was wild in Atlanta. Listen, let's be honest, man. If those players went out, somebody's got the Rona. That's just the truth, man. The Rona's coming back to your hometown. Players are going to necessarily get the Rona. It's coming, man. Like, that's the bad thing about the All-Star game, but it was great to watch.
It definitely is. It was bad to have it, because the parties, everybody. Everyone flew down there, and the NBA
got flown out.
They got flowed out, man. They flew them out. Yeah, baby, I got flued out.
You got flued out, dude. That was not the time to get flued out, man. That was not the time. That was the sit your ass at home time. But yeah, people was woo.
Yeah. But the one thing that I said earlier, let's bring out our boy. He's going to take the baton from me from 11 to 12. He's got a show tonight. And actually it's a preview. Cuz? It's a preview because his cousin Lance Irvin is on, and we're going to talk a little more NBA All-Star game with Lance. He knows a little bit about basketball as well. So it's a reunion with Jason and Lance at 11, a preview of their show tonight. So let's bring him on. He's, like I said, he's one of the co-hosts of What's Up, Cuz. That's one of the hottest shows right here on SportsZone Chicago. You can find him on Twitter at JCorden. Let's bring him out, our boy Jason Palmer. Jason, what's up, Papa?
Hey, what's up, fellas? Man, Ken, I ain't seen you in a minute, brother.
What's going on, Jason? How you been, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I'm 10 pounds lighter since you last saw me.
Good. What you been doing?
I had a colonoscopy.
Oh, listen, I need one. I'm past due for another one. I didn't go because I was worried about the Rona at the time, but
right.
I'm up because when I had mine, they found benign polyps, so I'm supposed to get one every so often, and I'm past due. So I understand.
Man. Go get that thing. But man, right. Shawn, that's the best diet I ever been on.
Man, hey, you know, it's so funny you mentioned this. Is a buddy of mine was going. She was like, because she's trying to get in shape for summer. So one of my friends, she was like, hey, she goes, you want to go do it? I was like, I never had a colon. I never had a vacuum. I've never had a withdrawal like that. I said, but from what I hear it's very profitable, very productive on the scale. I was like, oh man. She goes, don't worry. She goes, I'll find a Groupon. She goes, I'll send it to you and we'll go. I was like, all right. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. So don't worry. It's coming soon for the super back. Summer's coming, baby. You know, I got to be out the big 5-0. I got to have a nice little birthday party. So I got to, I got to get my little linen pants. I got to, how we do.
Yeah. How we do. Yeah, man, that was my 50th birthday present. I lost a couple people last year in 2020, and I said I was going to take my health a lot more seriously. And as men of color, we don't like going to the doctor and doing what the doctor tell us to do. I was like, let me go ahead and do this. So you're doing the right thing, Shawn. You hit that 5-0, go get that thing checked out, man. It was great, man. It was a interesting experience, but I'm glad I had it. They didn't find anything, and I'm up.
Oh, you're real lucky. Like I said, they found polyps, so I have to regularly. I think every so often I'm supposed to go, so I need to go. So
I don't have to go for another 10 years. So
good
so
thing,
I'm very happy. Yeah, I was real happy, healthy, man. Hey, man, talk about Shawn. Before Ken leave, I got a story for you, man. After I heard about your crack rib story, man.
What do you got?
I got one for you too, and I got photographic evidence that Ivan's gonna post. So I was playing on my competitive softball team in about 2009, playing out in South Holland, right there by the old Elizabeth Seton High School, those softball fields, and was playing second base. A dude, power hitter, comes up, crushes the ball on one hop. It's a one hop smash right at me in second. The ball hits a pebble in the infield, gives me one of them crazy hops. I couldn't get the glove up in time. The only thing I could do
12-inch. I'm thinking 16.
The 12-inch.
Okay.
12-inch. And only thing I could do was turn my head so that the ball wouldn't hit me flush in the face. And I even show him the results.
Whoa. Is that a fractured orbital bone?
Damn.
That would be kind. I fractured 10 bones in my face, Ken.
Whoa, bro.
10 in my face. But
that's why you shouldn't have been selling on that corner, fool. They told you. Wrong corner. They said wrong corner.
Hey, it was a playoff game, though, man. And we had to win that game to get to the championship. So I gutted it out. I was concussed. I was seeing 3 different balls coming at me the rest of the game.
Oh,
but damn it, we were not going to lose that game. So,
it's never a good thing we see 3 balls coming at you.
So we won the game. We advanced to the championship game. I got home and I went by my mother's house to stop by before I went to my house. And I walked in the house and my mother was like, what the hell happened to you?
You can't go to mom's house looking like that, fool.
I just got hit in the face with the ball. She was like,
I'm good.
She was like, have you seen your face? Have you seen your face? I'm like, how am I see my face? No, I ain't seen. She like, go look in the mirror. And I looked in the mirror. I was like,
turn away.
Oh my God.
I'm hideous.
Wow.
And off to
real life
Cook County
elephant
Hospital
man.
I went.
The real life elephant man.
Yeah. So I went to Cook County. The emergency room doctor said, Mr. Palmer, had that ball hit you a little bit more up, it'll hit you right in your temple and it'll have killed you.
Wow.
Wow, that's a lot, bro.
That 12-inch is no joke, man. Like that, it's you. If you feel like you need to protect yourself, hey man, go ahead and protect yourself. If that's what it takes for you to play and feel comfortable, I say do it. Me, I play outfield, so I'm good. But people on the my people on the infield, like if I wouldn't even mess with it. It's just You know that it's a juice game. You know what I mean? It's a juice game, so it is what it is. But just prepare yourself. That's all I got to say.
So I never knew about 12-inch softball until I went to college. Never knew about it. Never knew about it. All I knew was 16 because my uncles would play. They'd play over at Harrison Park. When I was done with school and I go at Flower, I spend the day at school with my mom over at Flower. They play softball in the gym, and it was all 16-inch. So I had never, ever heard of 12-inch softball until I got to college. So it was after freshman year. It was a team bonding thing, and we went up back by the football field. There's some softball fields back there, and so Coach Duffner was like, "If any of you guys have gloves, make sure you bring gloves and this and this." I'm like, gloves.
Because you think it's 16.
Yeah, I'm looking at the guys like, what are you talking about? Gloves? Like to play softball. I'm like, you don't play softball with gloves. What are you talking about? If I ignorant Chicago ass, like you don't play softball with gloves. What are you talking about? Like, yeah, you do. I'm like, no, you don't. And they're like, yeah, like you'll break your hand. I'm like, no. I said, you just gotta just bounce the ball, break it in a little bit. They're like, you don't bounce the 12-inch softball. I was like, 12-inch? What? And they're like, hey, throw the ball. Someone toss the ball. I'm like, this ain't a softball. What the hell is this? I can palm this thing. Like, what is this? And and they're like, 12-inch softball. I'm like, dude, I've never played 12-inch softball. I said, I've always played 16-inch clinchers. Right. And so when I came back in the fall, because I was during, I went home for spring break. So when I came back from spring break, I brought one, and they're like, "How the hell do you play with this thing?" I'm like, it's easy. Like and it was a new one. A fairly new one. It wasn't brand, but fairly new, so it hadn't been broken in. And they're like, "You got to catch this with your hands?" I'm like, yeah. Like you break some fingers. I'm like, yeah, it happens.
Yeah, right. It's part of the game.
Yeah, part of the game. They just tape it up, and you'll be fine. You don't worry about it. So I beat a little Sally. So yeah, so that was funny. I didn't know about 12-inch softball, so I went to Worcester, Massachusetts. So that's crazy. So one of the things we were talking with John. So Jason, I know you like hockey. Give me your thought. Dirty hit. Kenneth thinks it's a dirty hit. I think it was borderline dirty. I think it might have been, but with the new hockey rule, with the new hockey that we're playing today, then it was definitely dirty. Give me your thoughts on it.
I don't know so much it was dirty. I know it was illegal. I don't think Connor Murphy was intentionally trying to injure this guy, which to me would make it dirty. I think he was caught up. It was a physical game. It was a physical series. All three games were very physical. And he had an opportunity to make a big hit to change the momentum of the game, which is what he was trying to do. And unfortunately, he let his emotions and get the best of him, and he left his feet. And that's what's going to really get him in trouble. The fact that he left his feet. And I know he was trying to get a good hard hit on him, but man, you can't do that. You can really injure somebody. You can almost kill somebody doing that in hockey. You come in at a full rate of speed like that and you jump into someone and make contact with his head. That was bad. And I know he was trying to turn to not hit him with the shoulder, so he kind of hit him with his back, but it was still head contact. So I don't think it was dirty, but it was definitely illegal. I definitely agree with the call because he's a first-time offender. They'll probably suspend him maybe 2 or 3 games, and then he'll be back.
Yeah, so my remedy is this: go after the ribs. That's how we got on a broken ribs thing. I'm like, just if that's the case, because what happens if you remember when they took that first year of the NFL when you couldn't hit exactly, Ivan. If he dies, he dies. But when you couldn't go out, you couldn't hit the defenseless receiver rule,
right?
And then what happened is you saw a lot of guys going at knees. And you saw a lot of people tearing up ACLs. Like, well, that's what's going to happen when you got guys. You can't hit them in the chest because or close to the helmet because So now you're gonna lose guys for a year of their career. I'm like. So it's now they got to adjust it. I just think, okay, and I'll just go after the chest. So you're gonna have to make sure you wear rib protectors out on the ice. Because if I was a coach, I'm like, okay, go after ribs, just shoulder into the ribs. Just hope you don't puncture a lung because he'll be out for a while.
But I agree with Ken. I think the Blackhawks do need to send a physical message. I'm tired of people taking these runs at Kane. And I think you do have to have, with Shaw being out too. Shaw is like a lot of his protectors. So, it's good to see someone, take that step up to the physical stance. Carpenter has done it. My guy, number 16, my defenseman, I can't remember his name. He's very physical out there. He plummeting people all over the ice. They need that physical presence, and I think that's going to open up Kane and DeBrincat's game and allow them to do what they do.
Yeah, you need that. You need physical. You need enforcers. You need that, especially when you go deep in the playoffs, because those guys are that's when the superstars are really show. That's when they really shine. That's when you make the $7-10 million. It shows in the playoffs, and they have to be protected. So you're going to need guys. You're definitely going to need guys like that. So listen, we gotta take a quick break. And you know what? Hold on. I just checked with the bosses. We're going to take a break at 5 after, and then Ken, you can go at 5 after. But I want to bring in a guy. All four of us will be on. It'll be a good.
You about to bring on that piston, dude?
Good one, kid.
So it's actually a What's Up Cuz preview because they're on tonight, and he's one of the co-hosts as well as Jason of What's Up Cuz, and they'll be on tonight. Let's bring him out, man. It's our guy Lance Irvin. Lance, what's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm glad you brought me on, Shawn. You got Katie, you got my cousin Jason. You got two haters on the show now. Except for you, Shawn. And I'm going to tell you why I call these guys haters. Y'all speaking my language. Katie, y'all all know I'm a Pistons fan. So when we were whooping the Bulls and we were playing physical, oh, that's dirty. They playing too physical.
Ivan, cut him off.
No. I hear my younger cousin. Well, Connor, him and KD, he shouldn't have hit him like that. But no, Jason, I like physical play. Now you like physical play all of a sudden. Anything to do with Patrick Kane saving his butt, you like physical play now, huh? But when it came to my guy, Isaiah, you don't like physical play.
He's
Marcus,
dirty.
You like
he was dirty, Lance.
Don't even give me.
There's a difference.
I can't rock with Isaiah.
Straight.
Hey, Lance, I can't rock with Isaiah ever, and I know he's Chi-Town's homegrown, baby. West Side till he dies.
I love Isaiah Thomas.
That's why I fool with you.
I love
Isaiah. I can't rock with him.
Now you
can rock with him.
See, now you can be physical when you play it against certain players. You can't be
I
physical
respect
all
the
the
hell
time.
out of Isaiah and his game. Don't get me wrong. I think he's the second best point guard to ever play the game. But I ain't rocking with him. I can't rock with him.
But let me add this, though. Connor Murphy's hit, borderline dirty, though. Borderline dirty.
Today's hockey, yeah.
I mean, I can't remember the guy that made the hit a couple of days ago where he checked him.
Oh yeah, he messed him up. That was dirty. And he has a history of being dirty.
That was Tom Wilson or the
Wilson.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, Wilson.
Now, he has a history of being dirty, and when you check a guy like that and you hit him against the glass, glass. Now that right there, that's dangerous. I thought with the kind of Murphy hit, kind of like you guys were saying. Like he tried to turn on him a little bit, but with that being said, though, when you hitting somebody from the neck up, that's tough.
Right.
That's tough. And I love physical play, but it's just certain areas where you don't hit people.
Right.
And when it comes to the face, when it comes to the head, I just think that's dangerous area.
Or Lance, or like when they jumping in the air and are defenseless, you don't hit them in and knock them out of the sky like the bad boys used to do. That's but I think Jason I think Jason put it the best. I don't think character-wise, I don't think he's a bad character. So I won't say it was dirty, like, hey, that's who he is. He was dirty. But yeah, it was definitely illegal.
Ivan, don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh, you out there like that, Ivan? You out there like that?
Really, bro? We're gonna have to have a conversation, Ivan. I know Spider Sally came and played with the Bulls, but it doesn't matter. Not in that jersey.
But
not in that jersey.
You gotta put up a Spider Sally.
I should have put my jersey on today. Matter of fact, I might wear my jersey tonight. I tried to show the All-Star games love, but I think I'm gonna bring out my Piston jersey tonight. What you think, cuz? You think I should bring it out?
Hey, we got Montel Griffin on the show tonight. He a boxer, so you come out there with some Piston stuff. Don't be mad if Montel come through that camera and clock you one.
You know what? I like you most of the time, except when you're on somebody else. See another side of you. See, KD is consistent. Shawn is consistent. But now you want to come at me? What you mad about? I
Cuz,
thought
man.
you'd be happy. Your Sox having fans in the stadium. I thought you'd be happy. I thought we get 40%. Now you coming at me like you got attitude.
I'm tripping, man. You know I had a colonoscopy. You know I ain't right yet.
But he didn't finish telling y'all the story about his baseball. His auntie called his cousins because she thought he got beat up.
Beat up.
She called his 4 cousins.
You getting hit with no base, no softball, boy. Stop playing. Who whooped your ass?
Say y'all Sean, exactly. So my auntie
Stop lying, boy.
Called my father. My father called all the boys up. Go for Auntie Verb house. Your cousin I'm not gonna curse. He just got whooped. So 5 seconds later, he's like, "No, calm down. He didn't get whooped. He got hit with a baseball." No, man, that's all right though. But man, I'm glad I'm on the show with you guys. And Sean, I'm not trying to take your show over, but I might as well take it over. I mean, can I get Russell Wilson? Can the Bears give Russell Wilson? That's all I want to talk about.
I hope so.
Go. Can we give Russell?
I hope so. I don't know what they're gonna give up if they mortgage their future.
They're about to give up the world. What they can only give up three number ones. I think it's capped at that because they don't want the Don Nelson situation from the Orlando trade. Because you remember, like when Donnie Nelson ended up at Orlando, and they was like, "All right, you can only give up so much of the future." Listen, yeah, this is a problem. It's messed up that we have to do that. And from the point of, and I don't even want to put it on just this regime. I mean, for our entire lives, the only thing that we really had was Jim McMahon, and we overinflate him to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes no sense that even in the 70s, we don't have a guy. Like that somebody, our parents, like, you didn't see so-and-so playing quarterback? He was just like, we have nobody. Since we have nobody, we have to do stuff that I think most of us, because I like to put on my GM hat, I hate giving away that many first-round picks. And listen, I don't even know, this is the thing too. With first-round picks, they're hit and miss. Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson. So yes, giving up 3 first-round picks, yes, you know what you're going to get from Russell Wilson. It's just messed up that to be in this situation. Would I do it? You have to, but then it goes into, all right, so are you going to extend these 2 cats? Because you damn near have to let them see their plan through. If you let them use all that draft equity, and then next year you guys are fired, and then you're bringing in a whole new regime, and now they'll still have Russell Wilson if he's traded. But it's just a messed up situation. But yeah, I would do it. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not going to probably get Deshaun because you don't have enough. But also, do you really have enough to get Russell Wilson? Because if you get Russell Wilson, all those number ones are basically going to be in the 20s. So how sexy is that to the Seahawks to get your mid-round, first-round pick? So I don't know. I would do it though in a heartbeat, but it's stupid.
I would. Here's what I'm thinking, Ryan. This is pure evidence. The fact that here's what we're missing. Here's what you guys are missing. The fact that you have to go get a quarterback after this guy had a chance to get a quarterback,
right,
shows he should be fired.
Yeah, right.
You know,
you're right.
The fact, and that's the whole thing that bothers me. When they're like, "We're going to get Deshaun Watson," well, you should have got him 5 years ago. You should have got him then. You shouldn't have waited now, or 4 years ago. Should have got him in 2017 is when you should have got him. Okay, you had him. Okay, you could have stayed at number 3. And you know the fact of the matter is he had a 66% chance of getting a stud quarterback. 66% chance. And he blew it. He picked the wrong one.
Right.
It's like, so, you know, and then when they looked, you know, that press conference was disrespectful. It insulted our intelligence. Because my thing is, look, don't look me in the eyes, piss on my shoes, and tell me it's raining. Because that's exactly what he did. Is McCaskey like, oh, we have trust, we have belief that these guys can do it? Because I guarantee you, I would have lost my credentials that day. Because my first question would have been, okay, Mr. McCaskey, what gives you confidence when the regime that you have to pick this quarter to move forward has had missed picks with their first round picks, from Kevin White, who was injured, to Leonard Floyd, who no longer is on the team, to Mitch Trubisky, who you didn't sign, and you had a chance to get 2 other guys. What gives you the confidence that they can go and pick a quarterback now? They'd have been like, get his credentials, get his credentials, get him, come on, cut him off the Zoom right now, because that's bullshit. That's straight bull. Yeah, yes, you are an idiot, Nagy, and that's crazy. So it just. So if I'm Ryan Pace, I'm going all out. I don't give a damn, because if I get fired, I don't have to worry about no first round picks for the next 2 years. You know, I'm going out in a blaze of glory, and that's why we're going to suck. And here's why: Matt Nagy is going to call plays again.
Yeah.
See? we were fine with Mr. Trubisky at the helm when Bill Lazor called the plays. But now that Matt Nagy's calling in, man, I wish we had Cutler for this offense. I really do. God, I love him. But all of a sudden now Matt Nagy's calling the plays again, and now the running game is going to go away, which means now the play action is not going to be as effective, and it doesn't matter who's the quarterback. If you don't have play action and you're not getting that safety up in the box, or you're not freezing the linebackers with play action, it's going to be so much more difficult. So why Nagy does this, I have no idea. I said I would, if you kept Bill Lazor calling plays, just call plays. Matt Nagy, you do not call a God-blessed play. All he needs you for is, yes, we're going for it on 4th down. No, we're not going for it on 4th and 1. That's the only thing we need you for on offense right now. But he's not going to do that because he's like, you know what? If I'm going to get fired, I'm doing it my way, and I'm going to run this offense into the ground. And it pisses me off because he's a horrible offensive coordinator / head coach. I think he should just be a head coach.
But why would you do it your way when the only time it really worked for you was in year 1?
He's stubborn. He's freaking stubborn.
So he's stubborn to a fault.
Yes.
But how can you not go all in for Russell Wilson? I understand what y'all saying, but if I'm going out, you got to have a quarterback.
Well, and here's where I disagree with that philosophy, and I've stated it before, and I'll say it again. I think because you're filling one hole, but you're creating 2 or 3 other holes, because it's not just going to be draft picks they want. They're going to want a draft pick and a Roquan Smith, a draft picks and a Khalil Mack, or a Kyle Fuller. You're going to create so many other holes you'll end up creating just to get this one person. And I'm still not 100% confident in this offensive line, even though they were better towards the end of the year.
You know why, Jason?
Well,
because you ran the God-blessed ball.
You ran the ball.
Why.
You ran the ball.
Until Nagy started calling it in the Green Bay game and the playoff game is when you can tell Nagy was all over that offense. They stopped running the ball, and that's when the offensive line suffered. Because how many times in the last – remember, don't forget, they scored 30 points in like 5 straight games. And this was not interceptions leaving the ball at the 1. This is not turnovers set up by the defense. This is drives. All right? These are drives. And how many
teams though, Shawn?
You know what? Teams. They're professional athletes, and I get it. They might not be the best. They might not be the best defense, but those guys get paid. They get paid too. And so when you can tell if you run the ball, it's a whole different story. And that's how many times do we hear J. Charles Lettle's name often toward the last 5 games of the season? No. Why? Because you ran the God-blessed ball. So now the defensive line can't just go hell-bent for the quarterback. It's called setting and knowing how to run, having a philosophy and sticking to it, not just calling plays. You can't just call plays. You have to stick to your philosophy, and that's what Lazor did, and that's why he was successful, and Matt Nagy doesn't know how to do it, and he pisses me off. Now you got me fired up already this morning.
I love your energy and emotion. I love the passion. So you trying to say they need to do like Tom Brady did? Hand the ball off.
Yes.
And, a balanced offensive attack. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah. Dude, Tom Brady's 43 years old. Look, I'm just here to make the throws when I need to make the throws. I got these 2 stud running backs here behind me. I'm going to hand it to Ronald Jones. I'm going to hand it to this dude. I'm going to hand it. Now you need another Fournette. Oh, now that you have to bring the safety in, guess what? Now I can hit Gronk behind you. Now I can hit Godwin behind you. Now I can hit Mike Evans behind you. Oh, man, it's simple. Football is not a difficult game. Offensive coordinators make it difficult.
Hey, Ken, remember when Leonard Fournette became available and we were saying the Bears need to hurry up and sign him?
Dude, we were talking about the fact that, and remember, people were like, "What? He doesn't fit this offense." It's like, what are you talking about?
Right?
It does. Like, if you don't pick him up, and you have this gap, and also at this point, David Montgomery, we didn't know he was a bell cow. You know what I'm saying? He ended up proving that he was a bell cow, and you still need somebody else in there because one of those guys are going to get hurt regardless. Right. I think this is my. I'm along Jason's lines too. They're going to end up trading up for a quarterback in the draft, right? That's probably because they probably not going to get Russell Wilson. And they already let us know they're going to go big, right? And what you really should do, and none of us like it, you should draft a tackle, and you got to try to figure out how to get a quarterback another way. Because what Jason was saying, when you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, it's something it's going to be a flop. But I do have one hot take. I will say this. If Seattle would take Khalil Mack and a 1 and like 2 2s, I'd move it as fast as possible.
No, they're
All
not.
right, I'll move it. I'll be
saying
like, it's
Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack. Damn it, I'll be lying my ass off.
And they'll be like, you know what? Look what he did the last 2 years. His contract is too huge.
Oh, it was us. It was all us, man.
They're not going to trade the Russell Wilson contract.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
That.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Sean. I'm with you.
I'd love to.
Like, if I could get out of Khalil Mack right now, you know what I'm saying? Not to say that he's still not a very good player, but I can get that production for a guy not making that type of money. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the situation is. But listen, I think the Bears ownership should just be honest. Are you going to let these guys play with your toy for another 2 or 3 years? Because, and I know they don't want to do that because fans will be upset. But if they're going to be here, don't try to hasten the pace and just do it right, man. Go and get a tackle, a guy that can move to left next year, and look. And unfortunately, you still won't be bad enough to get high in the draft for a quarterback. But you got to try to set it up some way, man. But they're going to end up doing something silly, I think. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think is going to happen.
Because they're not football people, Ken. You're right. They're not. They're business people. They're not football people. And you don't have non-football players making football decisions. That's like saying that's why do you think certain people, and you look at all the other sports, look at Ozzie Newsome, look at John Lynch, and I'm not saying that you have to have played football, but I'm saying you have to have played football to a certain degree to be very good because you understand the inner workings and what you need. And they have never played football in their life, live off their granddad's his entrepreneurial adventure, and that's it. So when you get somebody out, get Ted Phillips out, get a guy in there who knows football, who's played football, who understands football, and a lot more decisions, a lot better decisions will be made. Not these dumb, Ryan Pace played college football. And when it's really funny, why are so many guys who play college football? Why can't you see what we see? Why can't you see what we see?
Yeah. Great point.
See what you did, Lance. You're supposed to be on here to talk about the NBA All-Star game. You done got Shawn all fired up talking football. You done made this man upset again.
Y'all know I'm a huge football fan. Everybody on the show know I love football and physical play. And I woke up this morning thinking about Russell Wilson. I said, man, maybe we can see Sierra. We can get Russell, maybe
see her walk around town, what I mean?
Maybe I could have something to talk about other than like KD said, Jim McMahon, Jay Cutler. I don't have a side piece. I don't have a side piece like you and mine.
You got a side piece. It's the Bad Boys is your side piece.
Oh yeah, exactly. But I'm still a fan. There's a lot of guys, but they won't give me Tua. Miami, they won't send Tua. That's my man right there. They won't give me Tua, KD. Jason just wants me to get my butt kicked for another year. I mean, Shawn, I love your energy. I love your passion. But if we don't get a quarterback, and I'm not talking about Cam Newton, we're in trouble.
I tell you, we're in trouble. Because Nagy's calling plays, we're in trouble regardless. Because he's calling plays, because you understand, because he does not understand how to call plays. How to call plays. So it doesn't matter if we get a tackle. It doesn't matter who we get a quarterback. When you don't call plays, when you don't call plays to set up plays later. Okay, when people are like, why did they run the ball? He keeps getting stuck. He's not getting no yards. It's a plan. He's got to stick to the run game, because what happens is people, as creatures of habit, we're like, oh, okay, he's not gonna. We get comfortable because of the fact that they're not gaining anything, so we get a little lax in our duties sometimes on the defensive side of the ball when that happens, and all of a sudden that's when a guy sneaks behind you because you stay close, and that's when that's cost you the game. Matt Nagy doesn't know how to do that, or if he does, he just hasn't done it, and so as long as he's calling plays, which I know he is, we're not going to be good.
So, Shawn, we're going to put the franchise tag on Allen Robinson.
Yep.
With no one authority to him.
Yep.
Jason, I'm asking y'all. I'm on here with football guys.
I'm telling you this.
Franchise Allen with nobody to throw it to him. If Bill Lazor is the only one that calls the plays, then I am more than comfortable with Mr. Trubisky throwing the ball to Allen Robinson. If he does not let Bill Lazor call plays, then we're not going to have a guy to throw, because they're not going to bring Mitch back, and Mitch doesn't even want to come back. And this is another thing that shows you how Matt Nagy's calling plays. Mitch doesn't want to come back.
Yeah.
If you came back, think of what he did. He put up 30 points for like 4 or 5 games in a row. He was one of the most consistent stretches of football he's played in his career under Bill Lazor. Wouldn't you want to come back to that? Wouldn't you want to come back?
Let me say this, though.
I would too.
I'll say this. Why would Mitch, all right, looking at and knowing the type of money that quarterbacks make, not look at Matt Nagy, and even if he's not totally accurate, say you hindered me from making this type of money. Now I have to go out here and wait years. That's if Mitch ever is that type of player. But looking at his draft class with Patrick Mahomes and looking with Deshaun Watson, the type of contracts that they have right now, and if Mitch thinks he's a baller, then he looks at Matt Nagy as the reason that he didn't get to that next level. I wouldn't want to be around that man anymore because he's hurt me financially, and he just hurt my legacy so far. So if I was Mitch, I'm out. And there's too many coach proven. We got to remember this with Matt Nagy. There are proven coaches out there. All right, Mitch can be like, this guy was. Listen, I was in my job longer than he was in his job. Mitch at least started games the year before Matt Nagy became a head coach. So listen. I hate to say this. You need a tackle and you need to keep Mitch because you're going to end up messing up everything trying to go after a quarterback. And next year's not going to be this one. Because listen, you may be able to, if let's just say like you kept Mitch and had last year's team. And also remember this, Eddie Goldman's going to be back.
Yep.
So that defense is going to be stout up front. It's going to be stout. It's going to be stout up front. And actually, Eddie Goldman being back and the improvements they made with that defensive backfield is going to be shown even more because people aren't going to be able to run the ball like they've been able to run the ball with Eddie Goldman being gone. They're going to have to go through the air, and that's when you see Jalen Johnson, Gibson, who I didn't think was going to play that well. Only guy in our defensive backfield that ain't living up to snuff is Eddie Jackson. Everybody else is balling. Everybody else is, and that's what you listen. That's a sound mind. That's what you should do. And I mean, I don't want Mitch here, but looking at your options, he can run. He's not accurate, but he has a cannon on his arm. He's probably better than what you're gonna do. You're gonna make a trade for Teddy Bridgewater because they may draft him. Like what are you gonna do that really is better than Mitchell Trubisky? And I'll leave you with that.
And let's not forget, Ken, too. We also gonna need a nickel cornerback too, because Buster's gone.
Right, because Buster's
we gonna need a nickel cornerback because
that's a starter.
Right, because it's a passing league now.
Right.
So you gotta have that third quarterback. So
it's kind of like you said, Jason, months ago. We're going to keep Nagy. We're going to keep Pace. We're going to have Mitch again at quarterback. So you need the GM job. You, KD, and Shawn, go get the job because y'all just broke this down in about 18 minutes. I'm sorry I had to change the subject, fellas, but
it's all right.
They won't hire one black GM. You think they're going to hire two black GMs and a Latino dude?
Dude, they won't hire a black quarterback. You think they want a black guy in the front office? Right. They have two. They have 1.5 in Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes. They have 1.5 to choose from right there. There's no way.
Anyone that's watching the show, join me on Facebook. I'm starting a petition. The 3 black guys in the front office. Starting a petition. The 2 black guys. I'm starting a petition. Oh my goodness, y'all. See, y'all just ruined my day. Now I gotta go. Bro. I gotta go shoot jump shots and think about my Bears. We're not getting Watson to stand with the Cowboys. I'm not getting Russell Wilson. Carson Wentz is off the board, but I could deal with Mitch for a year. I could deal with Mitch.
And I'm telling you, if Bill Lazor calls the plays, I am more than okay with Mitch coming back. But with Mitch not wanting to come back, that tells you that Nagy had, and that was even reported that Nagy was calling plays toward the end of the season. Right. And he was calling the playoffs, so that's why Mitch is like, no, because put it this way, if Mitch can get if he averages, I know this is hypothetical, what if he averages 30 points a game? What if his offense averages 30 points a game? Mitch is getting paid. Mitch is getting paid because you don't score 30 points a game without an efficient quarterback. But he realizes with Nagy calling plays, they're not going to put up 30 points, which means he's not going to get money, which means I'm not staying here in Chicago.
I mean, I probably wouldn't stay if I was breaking it down like you guys breaking it down. And if I'm playing for a coach, because I think we all want to get better at some point in time. Players like coaches who help them get better.
Yep.
And if I haven't gotten better in 4 or 5 years, you heard me in my pockets.
Bingo.
You heard me in my branding,
Cashews,
which is
everything
your
around me, cream, get the money.
And I'm not getting better. And I'm saying everybody else, they seem to be getting better. And I'm not. Oh, no, I'm on a midnight train to Georgia.
Wait, real quick. You know, one of the best parts about the All-Star game was
What's that?
Miss Gladys gave herself a woo. She did too. She did one at the end, but I'm sitting there, I had to ask her later. I said, did she just go? She was like, and the land of the free. Woo! I said, she wooed herself. I said, it's Miss Gladys. She can do that though. It's Miss Gladys, right? You know, somebody else supposed to scream like, go girl. She did it. I was just like, I love that. I love that, man.
Matter of fact, since Shawn wanted me to talk about the All-Star game, let me talk about the All-Star game.
Let me get y'all back on here so y'all can preview it.
I'll tell you what, Shawn. Just all about the All-Star game. Go ahead, Shawn.
I was just gonna say we're gonna take a break because we're almost at the time, and then we can finish up with the All-Star break. All right. So let's on the other side of break. Kenny, you're more than welcome to stay, and if you got to go, I understand.
I'm gonna jump out. I got this family. I gotta help around this house, man.
Family schmamly.
I know, right?
Katie, you got me off topic. Katie, you got me off topic.
Ken, all you gotta do is Ken, all you gotta do is tell the wife, listen, woman, I'm on a podcast. And that's all you gotta say. That'll work out perfectly.
I know, right? Do you know how much freedom this woman has given me? Like,
you sound like Jason. You sound like Jason.
Man. Listen, the amount of time, and you all know from everything, the amount of time you have to put into this stuff, you gotta have somebody that's behind you, because that can cause so much friction. And that's one of the best things. She's always been behind me. Times where I couldn't do something with the kids because I'm doing things like this. So I know when it's my time to fade back. Listen, years ago, no, right? I'm older now. I need to
now you pick your battles. Like, this is a battle I'm trying to fight.
I shut my mouth. Right? It's like, you know what? Shut up. I'm not even going. Nah, there's no reason to do that. It's not. Why do it? But listen, I'm looking forward to watching What's Up, Cuz tonight. So it's always a pleasure. And Jason, you my guy. Shawn and Ivan, man, I will definitely holler at all of you guys on Friday, man. And you guys have a great show, man. And you all be safe.
Later, Katie.
Later, Ken. All right, guys, we have to take one more break. And then, man, the three of us. What's up? The cousins and the super back for the home stretch. So don't go anywhere, folks. The cousins and the super back. Keep it right here on Shawn and Maya on SportsZone Chicago.
Get out while you can. Don't get a sucker no statue. Give him guts. I told you I wasn't going away. You got your shot. Now give me mine. Why don't you get the hell out of there? Shut up, old man. I ain't going nowhere.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash
on 1330 and 95.9 The Zone.
13 points for Zach LaVine in the losing effort as Team LeBron beat Team LeBrant 170-150 at the NBA All-Star Game. Tough loss for the Blackhawks on Sunday following 6-3 at home against the Lightning. Chicago led it 2-0 after the first, but coughed up 4 goals in the middle period, 2 more in the third. Yannick Gord with 2 goals and 2 helpers for Tampa. Matthias Janmark with a goal and an assist for Chicago in the loss. They dropped to 13-8-5 with the setback. Points in 7 of 10. 6-game road trip begins tomorrow night. They'll also play Thursday at Dallas before heading to Florida for a pair against the Panthers and then 2 more against the Lightning. Major League Baseball spring training on Sunday. The Rockies with a 1-0 shutout over the White Sox. The Diamondbacks nipped the Cubs 5-4.
Chuck Sanders, that's the Sports Flash, 1330 95.9 The Zone.
What's in store for your business this week at Staples?
Printing you new signs for the times.
Get back to business with custom printed signs and sales materials. Staples has hundreds of designs to choose from, or just upload your own.
And now at Staples, get 15% off signs, posters, or decals when you spend $75 or more.
Some items printed same day when ordered before 2 p.m.
Save big on custom printing at Staples.
Ends 5/29/21. Exclusions apply. Limit 1 offer per customer. See store associate or visit staples.com/signage for details.
Receive a $5 rebate by trading up a non-contact thermometer toward an Exergen temporal scanner purchased at any retailer. Fever is a leading symptom of COVID, and using an accurate thermometer has never been more critical. In published studies, no-touch thermometers miss more fevers than they detect. While the new COVID vaccines are becoming more widely available, it is important to make sure you are protected. Monitor for fever with an accurate thermometer backed by more than 80 published peer-reviewed clinical studies. Details at Exergen.com, where accuracy matters.
We're back, and welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago. I'm back with the cousins. What's up, cuz? I have the crew, both of not one. I got both of them. That's BOFFUHM. I got both of them with me. That's what I'm talking about. The reporter himself, the bloodhound. Like, I need a story. I need something. He can get the facts. And that's Jason, and we got the smooth Coach Lance C. Irvin. And I'm looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to it's a preview because we're going to talk about who you got on the show later tonight. I know you mentioned it already, but it's nice to have you guys, nice to be on with you guys. So we haven't been on very much together at all. So this is a good, definitely good, a good segment.
Jason didn't want me to be on, Sean. You know how Jason is. He was trying to hold me off the show.
This is not true.
But that's all right though. I still love him though. I mean, he didn't want me to be on the show, but that's fine though. That's all right.
We got you.
Love you. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Sean. Unbelievable. All because I don't have a side piece. He doesn't want me on anybody's show. That's fine though.
Funny thing. Speaking of stories, I got my congressman is calling me now, but I'll call her back. But anyway,
you better call back. Like, girl, I want Shawn and Maya. What are you talking about?
Right.
I thought I'd done told your people didn't tell you. Don't call me at this time.
Always working, man. I'm always working.
I know that story is going to be juicy.
So Lance, this All-Star game yesterday, I was excited. I liked it. You know what I like? I liked the new format. Believe me, I missed the old East versus West. That was always cool, especially, as a kid, I was able to work it back in '88 when it was here and, watch that whole deal and meet those guys. It was just a moment I'll never, ever forget. But it had gotten stale. The All-Star game got stale for a while and, just blowouts and not a lot of fun. And the last 2 years when they started drafting, it was fun. Give me your thoughts on it. Because these guys, you got guys dunking all over the place, which they usually did. But the thing that really got me was Steph and Dame just pulling up from half and like splash. But here you go. Look at this one. Forget it. Splash. Boom. And then I thought that was just amazing. The ability to, it wasn't just once. I mean, they're doing it on a regular, and then they're doing alley-oops. Talk to me how much you enjoyed or didn't enjoy the game yesterday.
I mean, I think, like you touched on a little bit earlier, Sean, I think the All-Star game had gotten stale, so I think some changes needed to be made. And now with you have captains picking teams, then at least you have the general fans like myself and others thinking about who's going to pick who. And I like the way LeBron assembled his team. See, LeBron went for shooters. If you really looked at it, I don't know if you guys know, but last night, both teams combined to shoot 133 three-point shots. And LeBron, it was 133 three-point shots. So with that being said, if you looked at the way LeBron built his team, when he took Steph, because I'm reading that he always wanted to play with Steph. That's the first time he ever played with Steph.
Yep.
You got to shoot it. Then he takes Luka. What can Luka do? Luka can shoot it. Then he takes a guy like he had Dame. What can Dame do? Dame, the one shot Dame made a step behind half court. That right there, he didn't throw it. He shot it. So I looked at everybody on LeBron team that made 3 points. I think Steph Curry was 8 for 16. Dame was 8 for 16. PG went 5 for 7. So with that being said, I mean, I think basketball, you know how we used to get excited about the dunks, and we still do. Oh, you got dunked on. You got dunked on. Now I think basketball has turned a little bit. They want somebody to shoot a three, and when they shoot it, they want them to turn while the ball is going in through the net. So with that being said, I think it's a game of, well, let me rephrase that, guys. I tell people, they're shooters and they're makers. Steph Curry is a maker. Dame Dollar is a maker. Zach LaVine is a maker. Zach can really shoot the ball. And I think the best is yet to come for Zach. But nowadays, you need guys who can make shots. And if you can't make shots, if you don't have makers on your teams, you're really going to struggle. But the All-Star game had gotten stale. I like the dunk contest. I think it was better than what people thought. But due to the fact there weren't any fans really in the arena, you know, dunks is about getting hype, getting the crowd
energy.
Hype.
Yeah, that energy.
And the one dunk Cassius Stanley did, his first round dunk.
First round dunk, yes.
Impressive. Like, if you have a crowd in there, you're like, oh, yeah, everybody getting into it. You get more points. But they was dunking yesterday. It was like,
because he went first, that screwed it up. Yeah, screwed it up. Yeah, and plus, I don't know if I were him, I would like that was one you go like when you need to get to the next round or in the next round. That's a later dunk. He shot his load the first dunk, and then it was like, yeah, you're done.
Man, exactly. And if you looked at what Obi Toppin did, you take off a foot inside the free throw line, and you take that thing between your legs and dunk it. it was some good dunks. It just wasn't no hype in there. And I love the 3-point shooting contest. Like I said, shooters. Steph being Steph, it's kind of hard to pick against Steph in
really
any
is.
shooting contest because, like, Steph not playing with you. Like, Steph really wants to win too. So, like, you know how some guys shooting and they're gonna be modest. No, it's kind of like Larry Bird came out there that one year, and when he shot
88?
the game, when he 88 when he shot it. I mean, come on, how arrogant and how good was
how
that?
Badass is that?
I mean, you shoot it, and when it leaves your fingertips, you walking away like.
That was here in Chicago. I remember. I'll never forget. So I was on the main floor. So when that happened, that was the other. I was at the other free throw line, in the main section in the first floor at the Chicago Stadium.
That's it.
And that, right. Remember when Michael took off from the free throw? I remember he backed up and he had to move the cameraman and everything.
Right.
When he backed up like right in front of me, and then he took off. But yeah, I'm telling you, that was awesome. Talk to me though. Here's what I really want you to talk about, because I want to talk about the Bulls and their connection. That was Zach LaVine in the, making his first All-Star game. How important was it for him to absorb and be around superstars? Because when you're the best guy on the team, okay, you're not challenged. You get some guys, but Zach's here. Steph, LeBron, Dollar Dame, Giannis, Harden. They're all here. They're superstars. I think Zach's a star. Those are superstars. Tell me how important it was for him to be around those guys so he could raise his level of play and bring it back to his team, to our team, the Bulls, and raise everybody else's level of play.
First, I think from a career standpoint, it's always good when you can make the All-Star team, which it shows you're probably one of the better players in the league, or you're getting up there. And like many people say, when you're around that many good players, number one, you're getting a chance to pick their brains. And when you picking their brains, you're in the same room with them. Now you're getting a chance to ask questions. Now they thinking of you. Now they looking at you a little bit different than they looked at you when they playing against you. Not saying they saying that you can't play as well as they can, but now they look at you in a different light. So anytime you get a chance to swap, I mean, you get knowledge from Brown, who's like a 17, 18, 20-year All-Star almost. You talking to Steph, you're in the same room with them. So I think just getting knowledge from guys that's been playing for a while and just being around them, that's key. And then the second thing is this: you looking around at them saying, okay, I see what this guy doing. I see what that guy doing. I need to work a little bit harder so I could get where those guys are. So I think that's a couple of things that Zach took away from playing in the All-Star game. And then last point, if I can make the last point, I mean, his confidence has to be riding high. Confidence really riding high. He was 5 for 10 yesterday. He played well. And Zach is a hell of an athlete. And if you're sitting there looking at Zach has all the tools to be great. He just has to be in the right situation, which I think the situation is okay here, but we need, I'm not going to say we. Jason team and your team
My
one more
our
elite,
team, yes,
one more elite player,
right?
Then Zach could really ascend and take off.
And for me, Lance, that's kind of my take on him making the All-Star team. I look at it as it's a recruiting opportunity because, see, I understand how the NBA is now. The general managers are basically, there to determine how much money, but the players are determining who they want to play with and where they want to play. So, I look at it as it was an opportunity for Zach to meet up with some people, to do some networking, to show his personality, to get a relationship with these guys, because he is going to need some help. And all you got to do is look at all the championship teams the last few years. They've been player-made teams. No general managers made like great moves. It's players who came up on free agency and they said, no, I want to play with this guy. He's cool. I played with him on the Olympic team. I played with him in a summer league. I played with him in an all-star game. And, if there's one criticism of Derrick Rose, it was that he was not willing to do that. Derrick was kind of on that cusp, but when the GM still had, more control. And I think, the game has definitely changed in basketball, where people are playing with they want to play with their buddies. They want to play with people they want to be comfortable with. And even the All-Star game has changed. It's not East versus West anymore. The players are picking their own teams. So once the NBA opened that can of worms, okay, you're letting them pick their own All-Star teams. Now they're picking their own regular season teams. It's almost going to get to the point, and I joked about it, but I'm dead serious. It may get to the point where everybody's only getting a 1-year contract, and every year they picking new squads. That you have 30 captains out there, and the captains are picking their teams, because that's basically what it's coming down to now. It's coming down to who's got next kind of game. So, I hope Zach was able to do a lot of networking, build some relationships, because he's going to need to bring in a free agent or two if the Bulls are going to win a championship.
I didn't think about it that way, Jason. That's a great point. Is the recruiting aspect of it. I was looking at it from a development standpoint for Zach. But yeah, that you're right. The recruitment part of it, and they get to know his personality. And the one thing that I saw from him is like Zach LaVine didn't stand out, good or bad, which to me tells me he's in that category. Because if a guy stands out, then those are the Dames, those are the Stephs, those are the LeBrons. Mm-hmm. But if a guy you see like he doesn't belong there, you're like, yeah, he got in because of whatever. He wasn't down there. He wasn't up here, but he wasn't down there, so he's in there. So that means he's one of the guys. So he's borderline. If he continues to improve, the guy's still only 26?
25.
25 years old. It seemed like he's been in the league for 30 years, but the guy's 25 years old. He's literally just hitting his prime. His prime. This guy shows that he's capable of being a superstar, because when you can't tell, who's his first time and or the level of play is equal to everybody else's. That shows the talent he has. And like you said, he needs it up here. Okay. And I think a lot of the things that he absorbed from the players that he was around all weekend really helped. And hopefully according to Jay, that he recruited some people, because man, you're right. One more person. And I thought we'd be able to get it with Lowry, but Lowry just he's too
fragile.
Yeah. Like, dude, like, oh, I'm hurt. I need to, it's like, what's his name? Wendell Carter Jr. Thigh bruise. I'm out for 4 weeks. Get your ass out of here. Thigh bruise. You better have a broken leg. You come back from a broken leg in 4 weeks. not a bruise, not a contusion. Get the hell out of here. Like, come on, man.
Exactly. And thinking about what Jason said, which was good, and I didn't think about that, Jay. That's a really good point. I read an article last week about Bradley Beal and Dame Lillard. They met, basically, they started really talking at a USA basketball trial.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying they're going to team up and get on the same team, but now they developed their friendship by playing in the USA basketball trials or something. Mm-hmm. Now they talk quite often, and they piggyback, picking each other's brain. And that stuff is key. Like, for instance, I think the Nets just picked up Blake Griffin a couple hours ago. He has a relationship with DeAndre Jordan. Mm-hmm. Blake had a couple of teams that he could have went to, but Blake probably was like, you know what? Let me go play with DeAndre Jordan. Let me go play with these guys. So with that being said, man, every good team, basketball, baseball, football, whatever sport you name, they got a couple of horses on it. And the Bulls are a horse away from being a really, really good team. So they need somebody to help Zach, to help offset some of the younger guys if they're going to reach the next level.
Yep, and I do think Billy Donovan is doing a great job along with his coaching staff and trying to develop the young talent that they have. And I think you continue to do that, but you also add another thoroughbred in that lineup, man. And the Bulls could be rough. I don't think Lauri Markkanen is a part of it. I'm sad to say that, because I really thought he was going to be part of the core with Zach and along with Kobe White, but the young man's injury history just won't allow for it. So you have to try to move him and get what you can for him. But I still think the Bulls' route to a championship is going to come through free agency. And we've known for the past 20 years, that hadn't been their stronghold. They've got to fix that problem. And, it's going to be, unfortunately, on Zach LaVine, because he's the star of the team, to change that perception. He's got to be likable, and people have to want to play with him.
I mean, if you look at the Boston Celtics, you have two young players I think people generally like Justin Tatum. If you look at him, his workouts during the summer, he's always working out with Joel, so he's working out with him all the time. Then you got a kid like Jaylen Brown. So you got those guys. They have a pretty good young nucleus of players. Then you go over to Brooklyn. Then you got, Kyrie, you got James Harden, you got those guys. So you need a good young nucleus of players if you're gonna get over the top. And what you said about Lauri Markkanen, you just stating facts. Facts are facts. Like I'm gonna use myself when I got hurt. If you hurt, you hurt. Those are the facts. It's not his fault he's getting hurt. But with that being said, up until this point in his career with the Chicago Bulls, and I like him, I thought he could really be somebody they could build around and they could grow with. He's just been hurt. And man, that's just a sad state of reality for him at this point in time. I still think he could be a pretty good player, but like you said, Jay, you're gonna have to pull some strings somewhere. It's trade to get somebody because free agency to this point, with none of the Chicago teams really, except maybe the Cubs, I don't know. It hasn't been our strong suit.
Right.
You have to spend some more money. And with that being said, we the third biggest market in the whole country and can't attract any free agents. Come on now.
It's
There's
sad.
something wrong.
Come on now.
Hey, guys, I'm joined by the dynamic duo from What's Up Cuz, Jason Palmer and Lance C. Irvin, talking a little basketball right here on Shawn and Maya on SportsZone Chicago. What are your thoughts then, Lance? Because I love this guy, and I can't wait till he's 25. Pat Williams, this kid, I got a man crush on this young man. This dude, to me, first of all, he's got a NBA body. He can still add some more weight, but he's got the size. He's got the lower extremities. Like he's you know what I mean. He's strong enough. He can get stronger. Don't get me wrong, but he's strong enough to hold his own right now. But the thing I love about him, that is so gone from today's game, he is so fundamentally sound. And when you get a guy, fundamentals could probably get you to the NBA. But when you get a guy who's super talented like he is, on top of being fundamentally sound, I think this guy is headed for superstardom. He's not stopping at stardom. I think I'm looking at him headed towards superstardom. Your thoughts on Pat Williams?
You know what? I'm not gonna pat myself on the back.
Go ahead and do it, cuz. You should.
Don't break your arm. Don't do that.
You was on it.
But Jay, I think you remember, Jay, when they drafted Patrick Williams, because I had the opportunity to coach against him in Florida State, so I watched a lot of film on him. And one thing I said about him was, with his size, with his skill set, he's going to be a really good player. And when you think about Florida State these days has really good players. So he's practicing against other pros. So with that being said, if you know Leonard Hamilton, he's a tough coach on you too. So he was well coached. He has size. He's long. He can shoot. He can handle. I think he was just 19 last year. So I thought the sky's the limit for him. And the people I talked to about him, they all just kept saying these couple of things. Good kid, smart, skill set. So now if you're a good kid and you're smart and you coachable and you have a skill set and you willing to learn, I mean, the sky's the limit for him. And as young as he is, he can shoot it. He could shoot the 15-footer. He's got a good three-point shot. He guards. He's a two-way player. He just needs to continue to get reps and get older. But I love Patrick Williams. I think he could be very, very good at some point in time if he continues to learn and grow like he has been doing up until this point.
And I appreciate Lance's being humble even in that answer. My cousin was on top of Pat Williams the very first day of the draft when everybody was like, who the hell is this guy? This dude didn't even start on his own team, for Christ's sake, and the Bulls draft. And people were going in draft night. And I talked to Lance that night. He was like, everybody need to be quiet. This dude can play. And, Lance is being humble, but, Leonard Hamilton is like his mentor. So, he had the inside track on this guy from day one, and I knew about it. So I wasn't saying nothing. I was like, I'm rolling my cousin on this one. He got too many connections for him to be wrong on this. And, I've been very pleasantly surprised with Pat. He reminds me a lot of Patrick Beverly, actually, in that he is that two-way player. He just plays real rough. I just think he's got a better offensive upside than Patrick Beverly going forward. But I think he's a guy who's going to play that tough defense for you. He's going to hustle for you. And he's just a young guy right now. So I'm looking at him 2 years from now, what type of player he's going to be. We're going to have another all-star on our hands. So,
we are.
I think he's going to be part of that core because you got to get marketing out of there. But if you can get Patrick as part of that core, you can get Zach, who we know is part of the core, and you bring in a free agent or two. Now you're talking about the Bulls having a chance to compete for a championship. And, you just need a couple of your other guys to develop. I think Kobe White is just having that sophomore slump kind of year a little bit. where he hadn't really developed like we would like him to, but way too early to give up on that kid because he's young too. He's only like 21.
Exactly. And
You
the
know?
thing about Kobe White is that he's playing that guard spot, which he's playing against an upper echelon type point guard, a guard every day. The thing about him, he can shoot the basketball. So I think you could build with Kobe White, just give him a little bit of time. But the thing that's helping him and Patrick Williams is that you have a guy like Billy Donovan, who's a really good coach. You have Maurice Cheeks over there.
Mo Cheeks.
So they assembled a really good coaching staff. You know, I like Jim Boyle, and I never say nothing bad about Coach, but I think the players believe in what Billy Donovan is saying. They believe in what the coaching staff is saying. So I think that's going to help those guys down the line also. Like I said, they're just a piece or two away, but they're playing better, and they're going to continue to get better. But like you said, Jado, I mean, if the guys just listen, and we know how Chicago is. Chicago is a hard sports town too. No, Chicago will let you know how they feel up close and personal. So if you could be, you need to be mentally tough in Chicago. They'll say some stuff. Ooh, I remember I was coaching against somebody last year, and people started talking. I looked, I said, y'all know I'm from here, so that stuff y'all talking about, it doesn't bother me. My team went on a little run, then they shut up. I looked at them. I'm like, man, I could talk and coach too, so that don't bother me. No, you got to be thick-skinned, and with Patrick Williams' mental toughness, he'll be fine.
You know, Kobe White's one guy that I think is going to be another part of this thing. But, you know, you got to remember, this is Kobe White's third coach in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's people say, you know, it's this culture. It's instant gratification, and people want, how come he's not doing this? How could the kid's 20 years old?
Yep.
The kid's 20 years old. He should still be in college. You know what I mean? Like, think of where you were at 21. You know what I mean? And if you follow me, like even when you come out after 3 or 4 years being in college, you still have a learning process to get in the NBA or in the NFL or in hockey. The kid's still learning. The kid's still growing. He doesn't even have a man body yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
He doesn't have a man body yet. He's got to hit the weight room a little more. He's got some things he's got to do. Imagine him in 5 years. The dude will be 25 years old. And that he's just hitting his prime. And think of all the experience that he'll have from last year up until he's 25 years old. And I think that's a good thing. Unfortunately, Zach will be 30. But, you know, I still think Zach, it's still not I don't think Zach will be on the downside of his career. I think maybe 32 or 33 he'll be. But I think if you bring in one more guy, I think you'll have 4 legitimate studs on this team because Patrick Williams is developing and Kobe White's developing. And you already have Zach, who's an all-star, and you have 4 studs on your team. Man, I think because the East is so tough. It just wasn't just like 2-3 years ago at the West was it. Mm-hmm. Everything was coming out the West. Everything was coming out of the West. But now the balance of power has shifted to the East with the Nets, with the
Bucks, the Nets, the Miami Heat,
Celtics, Sixers.
You know, so now the balance is changed, has shifted, and you're going to need 3 or 4 guys for the Bulls to compete.
And when you talk about Kobe White, I think about a guy by the name of Big Shot Chauncey Billups. You know, they traded him a couple of teams until he found a home. So just think if they would have gave up on Chauncey Billups, he wouldn't be the Chauncey Billups that we know at this point in time. Right now, Chauncey should be a Hall of Famer. Maybe he's right there close, Mr. Big Shot. But man,
I saw how you brought in the Pistons there, Coach. I saw how you brought it all the way back down to Detroit, Coach.
I wasn't even gonna acknowledge that team, and I just said, with Chauncey Billups. I wasn't gonna acknowledge it, but
I was gonna say the coach of the LA Clippers, Chauncey Billups, coaching for the Clippers. I wasn't gonna tie my Pistons. I was just gonna leave it alone.
You know, the other thing about the Bulls too, I think we all have to understand as well that this is just this coaching and this administration's first year too. They're still dealing with a lot of the mistakes that were made. You know, we still got Felicio on the damn roster for Christ's sake. I mean, I'm keeping it real. I mean,
I know.
You still got to deal with that. You still got Otto Porter Jr. on this roster. You know, you still got
last year that contract. Thank God.
Right. I mean, you got to get rid of a lot of these bad contracts that were signed by the previous regime. You know, to create some opportunities for more people to play. And I think sometimes we overlook that because I kind of look at the Bulls similar to how the White Sox were like 3 years ago, where when Rick Hahn, he kind of came in, but he had to Kenny, I love Kenny. I always will love Kenny. That's my guy. We're gonna bring him on the show too. But he made some mistakes, and Rick had to deal with Kenny's mistakes for a couple of seasons, really, before he could kind of start formulating his own stuff. So, it's going to take another year for us to get rid of the Pax Gar Foreman regime, their mistakes.
They're people's.
They're people's. In perfect example, this is the first year that the Bulls have had a player development coach. They didn't even have that
department.
They didn't even have that on their team. And now they've got that. So, you got to give that department, that coach, time to do their thing. So I think a lot of this stuff is just patience with the Bulls. We're starting to see some promise. They're definitely better than they were. But let's give them some time. Let's look at them in 2023 is when I think they'll be really, really good in being able to compete. Because I do believe in this coaching staff. I do believe in our new GM and VP. And it should be fun. And, when the Bulls are good, the community is going to come out there and support them. So, I think it might be kind of a good thing that there hadn't been no fans really this year. Just to give them a chance to kind of, work with each other and develop and form together as a team. And Lance, your team chemistry in basketball is a key too. It's not just about the talent, man.
But it's also you see that they're starting to come around. There's a guy that I work out with CrossFit. He played basketball in college and he coaches now. And before class starts, we're always talking like, Dan, the Bulls couldn't pull it out, man. Dan, the Bulls couldn't pull it out again last night. But recently, the last couple right before the All-Star break, there were a couple games that the Bulls pulled out. It was a close game, and the Bulls are. And the thing about it is the Bulls have the most. The most games in crunch time or most close games, I think, within 5 points or something. They have the most. They lead in the NBA because they're sticking with it, and now they're starting to learn how to win. They're starting, and there's nothing you can't. There's not a switch you can flip. It's not linear. It's just experience. And Lance, you said it, and this is something that I've said as well. Billy Donovan, Billy the Kid, and Mo Cheeks. Those two guys, what they're going to do, they're going to bring their style, their experience as point guards. And I don't give a damn what level you are. If you have very good point guard play, you are in every single game. And that's why we look at the mid majors in the tourney, the Loyolas who have their guards 3 and 4 years. Why? They know they're comfortable. Know how to run. They know how to run a team. They're not intimidated by 3 or 4 blue chippers on the other squad who are one and dones who don't have any team chemistry. And once we get better guard play, and we have gotten it, but it just needs to continue to improve. Then my goodness, this Bulls team is going to be crazy. So with that being said, what are your thoughts on the Bulls going after Alonzo Ball? There's been a lot of talk about that. A lot of maybe just fans talk. Some reports. Give me your thoughts on getting an actual playmaker, an actual facilitator for Zach and for Kobe.
I'm gonna let you take this one first, cuz
that's tough. You threw me for a loop. I like him, kind of like me. He's not as good as his younger brother. Like I wasn't as good as my younger brother Mac. But with that being said, I think he's a good player. But I'm not sure that's what the Bulls need. I think you stick with Kobe White, get somebody in the draft at a point in time, but I don't think that's the right fit we need right now. Even though he's shooting the basketball better, but I think I seen what Kobe White can do. Kobe White is not that far off, and with that being said, I might hold. What's your thoughts, Jay?
I'm gonna agree with you on that. I think to bring that person in, you're going to damage Kobe White. I think you would damage his confidence a little bit and damage his development. I don't think he's a person who's just not putting forth an effort, and you would need to bring someone in to push him to get better. I think with him, it's just more about giving him time to develop. It's, it wouldn't be the worst thing. I'd be more open to it now.
What about this, Jay?
Because they've kind of shut his daddy up, which I think was hurting.
He separated himself from his daddy, which was a smart business move.
Exactly,
smart business move on his point.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. I think that was really hurting the kid's game.
Oh yeah. What about this move? Why not move Kobe to the second team? You come off the bench because you're 20 years old. When you're 25, you have a good another good 10 years left in the league. And so now he's not going to be playing against guards who are as talented as him, or maybe on the downside of their career, but you can still work on that game because it's, to work on a point guard game, because he's really not a point guard. He's a scoring guard if they're asking to play point guard. So why not put him against guys, a second unit? So now he can run that second unit, learn him and Denzel, who I really like. He's Stacey calls that old man game. I love it. The Denzel Valentine, and just put him there and let him develop there, and maybe in crunch time bring him up, in the fourth quarter. But I me personally, I think Lonzo Ball will be good, and I don't know if it would hurt his development. I think it would help it, because now you have an actual true facilitator for him to practice with and against, and then let him have that second unit, because that second unit, we're starting to see the bench mob 3.0, and I like it. I like it a lot.
Not a bad thought, man. I know we only got 30 seconds left, so I'll say it's not a bad thought at all. I hate to bring this up, but he could become like your Vinnie Johnson of the Pistons, coming off the bench, giving you all them points.
I don't have nothing to say on that. I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna end on the Pistons. I'm just gonna sit here and smile. I know when to shut up.
Hey guys, that was 3 hours has come and gone. What a phenomenal show. I want to thank our guest John Dietz from the Daily Herald for calling in and talking Blackhawks with us, and then our guy Lance C. Irvin for coming on and joining us with his cousin. And real quick before we go, guys, who you have on tonight?
We got Chicago's own former WBC champion Montel Griffin is coming on. We're going to talk about boxing, some fighting, and he's got a new book out. We're going to talk about his new book. And remember, it's Women's History Month. We've got Chicagoan Shawana Jordan. She is the owner of Ladies First Sports Agency, and they are sports agents for all female athletes, and they help get female athletes pro contracts, and she's from right here in Chicago. So we're going to talk about her. We're going to talk to Montel. So it should be a fun show once again.
Great stuff. I want to thank my executive producer, Elliot Baez, our social media guy, Clearance Counsel, my co-host at Obsession, Maya Kai, the man who makes it all run smoothly, my man, Ivan Vargas, Jason Palmer, and our guy, Lance C. Irvin. So for all those people and my guy, Ivan.
All right, guys, we'll see you later tonight with What's Up, Cuz, right? 6 o'clock, 6 to 8. Check them out.
There it is. Make sure you download the app. Make sure you download the app. You can take us with you so you can listen to all our live shows, because you're going to want to check out What's Up, Cuz tonight at 6 o'clock. So for everybody, I'm your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra. We're going to take a 45-hour break, and until then, we got 2 words for you, folks. We out.
Peace.
Gone.